Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're gonna talk about gamer crimes. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. See if that's gonna come back and haunt me someday. Cut that. Don't put that in. We've all gotten a little too invested in a video game here and there, but perhaps you've blurted out a word you shouldn't say.
What an asshole.
You threw a controller, which I want to say, if your toxic trait is that you smash a gaming controller when in a fit of rage, that person's gonna kill somebody. Some people can calm down pretty quickly and move on after some gamer rage, right? While others take that anger and use it to do unspeakable things. It turns out that there are many ridiculous and even gruesome crimes that take place in the world of video games. You might be surprised at just how much things can escalate in the heat of the moment. And trust me, we've talked about our fair share of some gamer crimes, like when we did the League video, and I guess that was pretty much it. We talked about it a little bit. Today's video is sponsored by Aura. That's aura.com/papameat. Thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. Let's start with a crime that you all knew was coming: property damage. While some may crack open a controller or two in their lifetime, things can take a turn when it results in damaging other people's property, like the New Orleans arcade rampage. Going old school, dude. Well, these old heads still get angry, huh? Yeah. Do you think the arcade games, do you think they ever said the gamer word there too?
Oh.
You think so, like on Galaga? It's bad when you grit your teeth. That kind of thing. I can't see someone's yelling the gamer word over Galaga, dude. Maybe Gauntlet Legends. Maybe. You know who you are.
I think arcade games aren't, well, maybe if it's a versus game. Like,
you say aren't competitive enough, sir? I've seen some people get down on Pac-Man and shit, dude. For a high score, to have your name up there with the number and everything. In 2021, a new customer at Sea Cave Arcade and Bar that referred to himself as the Wolf had given himself a reputation. Also, that guy definitely says the game word. If you referred to yourself as the Wolf, I think you let a couple vowels slip. I just gotta say, does that make sense? I don't think so. It doesn't matter. Referred to himself as the Wolf and had given himself a reputation of being rude to other patrons and making them uncomfortable in general because he once again referred to himself as the Wolf. This time, during the weekly tournament held every Sunday, he had brought along a price tag gun. He had been messing around with it all day, putting stickers all over expensive vintage arcade cabinets. The owner, Judah Lee, was sick of the disrespect, so he returned his entry fee and asked him to leave. In response, the Wolf looked at him and asked if he was interested in dying. Judah kicked him out, which led to the Wolf busting out a butterfly knife and waving it around and appeared threatening. You think the Wolf was at least talented with it? Are you interested in dying, sir? I can't get on the Atom Family pinball machine? I'm going to say it. He brought up that he owned an assault rifle before leaving the parking lot. I've had a couple. You ever had somebody that says that they own a gun? Oh man, when I worked at that game store that I worked at, all the time. You realize that I have a gun at home? People would say that. Like, you're selling me Shallow Hal on DVD, dude. What am I saying? Okay, actually, I'll give you $1,000 for it. What am I supposed to say? 30 minutes later, however, the Wolf returned with a bicycle lock and locked the front door from the outside. People began to panic as the man started smashing the store windows and sending glass all over the floor. The police were called, but the man had already fled the scene. Judah was forced to close down the shop, but things took a turn for the worst around 1 a.m. that night. He was alerted by a security system that someone had broken into the building, and through his security cameras, he watched as the Wolf, armed with an axe, smashed in every single arcade and television screen in sight, totaling up to around $50,000 in damages. I'd want to kill him. The Wolf had the confidence to return to the store yet again, but this time when employees and arcade regulars were volunteering to help clean the mess up, he pulled out a gun, ran behind a group of people and yelled, "Tell them to shut it down! I'm cartel!" It's a little Mexican Wolf. He was finally caught and arrested. So he turned out to be 30-year-old man named Mitchell McNelly IV. He was booked with false imprisonment, aggravated assault, criminal mischief, and criminal damage to property. With the help of a GoFundMe page, the arcade was able to raise over $37,000 to repair the arcade and continue paying employees, which is a nice, wholesome ending to that. Not fix everything, but I would assume, hopefully, fix like the ones that he loved the most. That's the thing with arcade cabinets and pinball machines, such a lost art form. The cool kind of like cabinets that were made, the lighting systems that goes on with it, the hand-painted stuff that people do. sick. As people became more and more connected online, we've seen higher rates of romantic relationships birthed through video games. Not all of them end well, like the MapleStory divorce that led to virtual murder. I don't know that. What? MapleStory is a massively popular, free-to-play action MMORPG from South Korea.
Did you ever play MapleStory?
I don't know what MapleStory is. I thought it was a hockey game at first. In the game, players can get married and even obtain rewards based on how long the two of them had stayed together. Damn, dude. Fucked up, right? All right, there you go. 10 years together. The game also allows couples to get a divorce, something a 43-year-old woman from Tokyo was suddenly hit with out of nowhere from her 33-year-old virtual husband. She had woken one day to find out that she was no longer able to access the couple chat and was ghosted everywhere else. I think it was that. I gotta.
What? Fucked up though.
Yeah, at 44 years old, you better believe that MapleStory thing. That was a long relationship. This enraged the woman, and she decided to enact her revenge by tampering with his account. At one point in their relationship, she had gotten his login credentials, and she used this to log in and quickly delete the character he had been playing for years. When the man realized she had tampered with his account, he called the police. They took this very seriously and arresting her on charges of illegally accessing a computer and manipulating electronic data. She was even detained and held 620 miles away from her home. That's so specific. What the fuck?
They flew her.
They put her in the like Hannibal Lecter mask and like flew her ass into a different country. When investigated by police, she admitted to her crimes, stating,
"I was suddenly divorced without a word of warning. That made me so angry."
Is that what a Japanese woman sounds like?
It was...
She risked up to 5 years in prison or a fine of up to $5,000. The final result of this case is unknown, but we know for a fact she had to pay. Yeah, they paid, she paid, and they still locked her ass up. She's like, no!
Oh, wait, that's crazy. Wait, hold on. 5 years in prison or a $5,000 fine?
I'd pay the $5,000. I would donate plasma. There's no way I would lose 5 years of my life. Not all crimes are committed by game consumers. Sometimes game developers can unknowingly help commit a crime. This was the case of the EA brass knuckle controversy. I wanted one of these so bad, dude. Because in 2009, EA released the Godfather 2 game. Remember that? Show some footage of it.
But I think he's planning. And I'm gonna need more muscle. Another soldier.
I agree.
What'd you say during that game when you were playing it?
What is going on?
I'm walking in.
Let's cut both of that. As part of its promotion, companies were sent press kits that included a pair of golden brass knuckles. I like how these look real too. They couldn't just be like plastic or something. It's like, no, they gotta be real. They knowingly sent out weapons to people who, in some cases, were not allowed to own them in their state. Pretty sure brass knuckles are illegal in, like, I would say the majority of states. They're considered an actual, yeah, it's like having a giant machete on you or something like that. What, I can't come into your store with this?
Also, isn't mailing weapons illegal?
I think because you can mail guns, but it has to go to like an armory and you have to like sign and pick it up and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think you can just send like a gun through UPS. Did you get it? Realizing that this was a risky move, EA started contacting people and asking them to return the brass knuckles so they could properly be disposed of. That's very Godfather-esque though too. Maybe that was always a plan.
All right, call me. I'll discard it for you.
And one of the most insane types of game crimes are those that escalate to IRL confrontations. In real life. In-game currency and rare items can be so sought after that it causes people to do some pretty extreme things, like robbing a teenage boy of his RuneScape gold. Hamza Bawa, a 19-year-old from Massachusetts, had arranged to purchase around 5 billion gold from a man named Jonathan Dokler in RuneScape in exchange for $3,300. Not bad. To make sure the transfer was done properly, Hamza insisted that they must meet face-to-face rather than send the money electronically. Jonathan sent his friend David to meet him and collect the money in a library at his school. David noticed that the money Hamza was pulling out looked fake, but Jonathan told him over the phone to continue with it anyways. Hamza suddenly left and insisted that they needed to meet again the next night to finish the trade. The next day, David once again called him out for pulling out fake bills, else, but this time, Hamza was furious. He pulled out a gun and pointed it at David. It was an airsoft gun. But David believed it was 100% real, and he told reporters, I couldn't what's a Massachusetts? I couldn't believe I was about to get shot over RuneScape gold. I was so scared that I was so scared I was about to die. That's every average Massachusetts Boston goer. Oh, f you, go sucks. I told my buddy, I'm not getting shot over fucking electronic gold. It's not the best impression, but David was told to call Jonathan and say that the money was accepted. Terrified, David was forced to comply, leading to 4.7 billion RuneScape coins being sent to Hamza for free. Surveillance footage of the interaction led to his immediate arrest, and when he was charged with second-degree robbery and grand larceny, he faced up to 15 years in jail. Somehow, this isn't the first time an IRL RuneScape robbery took place, because in 2007, 2 teens robbed a young boy of his rare RuneScape items. A 13-year-old child from the Netherlands, who had been playing the game for a long time, slowly acquired an assortment of valuable RuneScape items. While biking home, the victim was approached by the 2 teens and was forced to go to one of their homes with them. After being forced into a bedroom, he was told to give up his RuneScape money and valuable items. And at one point, he was in a chokehold while being told he would be killed for not complying. What a Chad, dude. I don't give a f***. Choke me out, stab me, motherfucker. I'm not giving you shit. He eventually gave them what they wanted, and was thrown out of the house. After reporting the crime, the 2 teens were quickly arrested and charged with theft and assault. In the end, they were sentenced to 144 years of community service. What? God damn! You're gonna have to do community service until fucking die? Is that how they roll in the Netherlands? You're going to have to do this until you die. The media has often blamed video games for many of the crimes committed by young people. While this is often overblown, there are few cases where video games have inspired violent crimes.
How do you feel about cutting his head off?
Games like GTA inspired one man to go on a wild joyride in Alabama. Zachary Burgess, a 20-year-old student of Auburn University, went on a chaotic crime spree. Zachary started his night by stealing someone's parked truck while they were still in it, forcing them to the passenger seat. The woman was held hostage as Zachary started driving erratically in the parking lot. During his joyride, he slammed into 9 vehicles. He eventually hopped out and fled the scene, but was eventually arrested and charged with kidnapping and 9 counts of hit and run. Allegedly, he told an officer that he was curious what it was like to play Grand Theft Auto for real. Are we stretching it a bit for the video? Yeah. Many of these game-related crimes can get intense, but usually are stopped by the authorities before it can get too out of hand. But this isn't always the case, sadly. Let's see how gruesome things can really get, starting with the mom who shot her son for gaming too loud. We're laughing because it is absurd, okay? In Arizona, a 72-year-old mother named Hazel Benson had become fed up with her 38-year-old son loudly playing video games. This is my wife to my son, dude. It got so bad that she called the police and asked them to come over to make him stop. After they started arguing about it, the son tried to go on a walk to cool off. Upon returning home, he found that Hazel was blocking him from entering the home. But according to the documents, he charged toward her with, quote, his hands and fist at his waistline. Hazel felt threatened by this, so she pulled out her gun and shot him in the stomach. When police arrived, they found her son bleeding on the ground. Hazel admitted to shooting her son and dumping her firearm in a nearby canal. She was she's like Robert De Niro in The Irishman. She was charged with aggravated assault, disorderly conduct, and discharge of a firearm within city limits. Luckily, her son's injuries were not life-threatening. Also, does feel so. You feel threatened? Word.
I think it's an excuse to pull out the gun.
Yeah, it was an excuse because she's just like, he'll never leave, and then she wanted to boom in his stomach. Also, ditching it in the canal, that's another thing. I'll just throw it in the river. Also, bitch is probably senile. 72 years old, old bird's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for sure, you know what I mean? She just hears her son playing like Ratchet and Clank in the other room. Yeah, exactly. Off, Ratchet! And he's sitting there, and she just like looks at her room. When you're playing games online, it's normal to encounter some infuriating players. Some take their harassment so seriously, they make their life's mission to ruin their lives. In New Jersey, 20-year-old Edward Kane traveled to another player's house to enact his revenge. Edward was playing an online MMORPG called Arcade with another man his age. They had gotten into an online dispute that got pretty heated, and this prompted him to attempt hurting him in real life. He was somehow able to acquire his home address, which was all the way in Florida, and Edward told his mom he was seeing a friend before flying to Florida and taking an Uber to a local store to buy a fucking hammer. He then arrives at the man's home at 2 a.m., which already happened to be unlocked. He waited for the man to leave his bedroom before Edward lunged forward and smacked him on the head with the hammer. They started wrestling with each other as the victim's stepfather came to help. While Edward was restrained, the police were called, arriving at the home covered in blood, dude. The victim went to the hospital to receive staples in his head, while Edward was arrested by the police. He tried to explain himself to investigators by saying that the victim was he's a bad person online. That's the quote.
When the suspect was asked why he did what he did, the suspect stated that he is a bad person online.
Edward was charged with attempted second-degree murder and armed burglary. Unfortunately, IRL confrontations like this don't always end with a couple staples in the head. In one horrific case, a gamer swatted another player, leading to his death. Which swatting is like the cringiest thing to come out of the internet. Like probably one of the worst things. I hate swatting. How is the swatting thing like not blaming the SWAT teams, but at this point in time, how is there not some kind of like protocol for people like abusing the system? 19-year-old Casey S. Viner was playing Call of Duty with a random player. They had gotten into a heated argument after Casey was team killed. He threatened to swat the man, who responded by giving him his home address and said, "Oh, please try some shit." So Casey told his friend Tyler to make the call, which he did. If this wasn't insane enough, the address wasn't even the man's current residence. The man used to live there, but it was now the home of a 28-year-old man named Andrew Finch, who had nothing to do with the altercation altogether. The police thought that they were entering a hostile situation, being told that the man in the home had already put a bullet in an innocent father's head and was now holding the rest of the family hostage. That's fun. Andrew noticed that a SWAT team was surrounding his house, and upon exiting the front door, an officer fired at him for not raising his arms in the air as directed. Andrew was taken to the hospital, but ultimately passed away. Investigators tracked down the people responsible, who admitted to the false report. Tyler had also admitted that he had done this on multiple occasions, with one instance involving bomb threats made to schools, malls, TV stations, and the FCC headquarters in Washington. Barris was sentenced to 20 years in prison, while Casey received 15 months, as well as a 2-year ban from video games after his sentence. 20 years even, I just feel like that should be like a life in prison thing. Also, you're admitting that you've done this multiple times and it's resulted. If you kill someone in a way, like in that reckless of a way, to me, it only makes sense if you're in prison forever. The person that falsely called the thing in that resulted in a death, to me, hang him. Hang him. You know what? Hang him upside down and just have all the blood go to his head, and that's how he dies. Long time.
Oh, you could put a little cut in his neck like the Japanese do it? They hang you upside down, put a little cut in your neck, and they drain you of the blood. Have you seen Silence?
It always goes back to Japan with you, doesn't it? Everything we do. This boy needs some Japanese pussy bad, dude. Just like the Japanese did it. Have you heard of that? In Wisconsin, a 10-year-old child killed his mom over a VR headset. The child, Noah Mann Tate, had been dealing with mental health issues for some time, to the point where his mother started putting cameras up around the house in order to keep an eye on him. Sounds like the start of a horror movie, doesn't it? Yeah, he's been having some weird issues. So it's like her doing the found footage thing where she's like set up the camera and he's just like standing in the corner. This was due to his various violent acts.
What?
Like the time he attempted to fill a balloon with flammable liquid and ended up starting a fire in their home.
Psychopath.
Okay, so instead of cameras, hang him upside down, put the little thing in. Hey, pull the weed quick is what I gotta say. It's an infestation. Pull the weed. Pull it! He had been pushing his mom to buy him an Oculus headset online. Also a 10-year-old who's like, I want an Oculus. I'd be like, why the f do you know what that is? Is that weird?
My nephew had an Oculus at 8.
We don't need to bring him into this. Something his mother repeatedly refused. This enraged the boy, leading him to do something drastic. I thought that said autistic. When his mother wasn't looking, Noah had taken the keys to the gun safe. He shot and killed his mother. Unsure of how to explain what happened, Noah told police that he was simply twirling the gun around and happened to shoot her. His aunt, however, was told by the boy himself that he was purposely aiming the gun at her. He seemed to show little remorse, with the boy buying a VR headset the next day using her credit card, and later he told her grandma, "I'm sorry for killing mom," before asking about the status of his Amazon delivery. That is gruesome, dude. The child was charged as an adult, facing up to 60 years in prison. When asked about the possibility of posting the $50,000 bond, he told the lawyer that he could try gathering coins from between the cushions of his couch. That's a sadistic, evil little motherfucker, isn't it? Maybe I could just dig for some coins. I'm a kid. Also, you should hand me your gun. He's currently locked up in a juvenile detention center. Upside down. Hang him upside down. The Japanese like, oh, yo. And lastly, we'll end on the internet rivalry that turned into murder. In 2008, after a long and bitter rivalry in Lineage 2, a massive popular MMO, members of two opposing Russian clans scheduled a face-to-face meeting in one of Moscow's bars. Around 30 people, a mix of both clans, come to the meeting. After a bit of friendly drinking and civil discussions, Audrey Pamlina, known in the game as DVP, invited one of his opponents to come outside. The man he invited came back into the bar with a broken nose. Naturally, his fellow clan members, Alexander Bliskin, stepped in for his teammate. He came out and punched DVP in the head, to which DVP responded with a headbutt to the face. Alexander Bliskin fell to the ground and cracked his skull on the pavement. A brawl ensued, which ended with police and ambulances coming to the scene of the fight. After a 3-day coma, Alexander was pronounced dead. Andrew was sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2008. After serving a sentence, Andrew came out and immediately began his eventually successful streaming career playing Lineage 2. Just goes to show that streamers are the worst. Most of these cases have been avoided by taking a step back and realizing just how trivial the situation is. If you're about to book a flight to another state to attack someone because they were mean to you in a game, it's time to take a good hard look at what your life has become. Try to stay off video games, guys. It's for the best, I swear. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys, and we will see you in the next one. I hated that.
This?
I hated that. I hated the... I did. I don't know why. I think that was... I was building myself up too much. I was like, I need to do something at the end. Oh, God.
Is there a... Have you ever... What's the angriest you've gotten at a video game?
I never get angry at video games. And I've never said the gamer word in a video game. Ever. Ever. Okay. All right, that's it. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on, sit on down, because today we're talking about the insane world of fast food. You know, when people think of America, one of the most common associations with America is fast food. Don't look at me. Listen, guys, I'm actually the skinniest man in America. We are the pioneers of quick, greasy meals, and ever since its inception, the world hasn't been the same since. We've ruined the world. And, you know, we talk about fast food a lot, right, on this channel. I love talking about fast food chains. I love eating at them. I love everything about them. But today, there are over 216,000 fast food establishments in the US alone. They are practically inescapable, and many people enjoy not only the food, but the culture. The primary way that all these hungry people get their food is through the drive-through window. It's like the new confessional booth. That's how I would say. It's that religious. You confess your sins, and then God forgives you by giving you a big greasy pile of slop. I mean, it allows for a quick and easy pickup, all while avoiding chaos that takes place inside of the busy restaurants. Or that's what people think. We have touched on the dangers of fast food, but today we're going to be digging a little deeper and looking at the dangers of the drive-thru.
I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
To get a good glimpse of what's really going on behind the counter, let's start off by talking about fast food rage. If you've ever ordered from a fast food restaurant, then you know that they don't always get your order right and oftentimes forget something. I'd never check my bag.
I've been checking my bag recently because
That's how you know you're getting older, dude. That's how you know you're getting old, too, is you're just like, check it. Check the bag before you leave.
Well, we went to Torchy's and they forgot.
They forgot one taco, and it did feel like hell on earth. You sit there and you get back and you're like, I'm about to lose my freaking mind. Typically, you just mention the mistake to a worker and they'll have it fixed for you. You see what's missing in the bag, maybe you loop back around, or you just accept your loss. However, one Florida man lost his life over simply asking for more condiments. Just a few months ago, in May of this year, Wesley Roberts went to a local Checkers for a meal. After receiving his order, he went back to pick up the additional mayo packets he had originally asked for. After repeatedly yelling for the manager to give him his mayo, a worker named Elijah Mackey climbed through a drive-thru window and confronted Wesley. And during the confrontation, Wesley began to call Elijah racial slurs.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're dressing up that, but actually it's just a hate crime, prompting him to pull out his gun and shoot Wesley in the chest, killing him instantly. Elijah then fled the scene to a nearby motel where he was found hiding underneath the stairwell. Police pulled him out and arrested him. Following his arrest, Elijah was charged with 1 count of premeditated first-degree murder and is awaiting sentencing. You know what? You asked for mayo and then you get shot in the chest. But to be fair, you did.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You did. You did. Right?
Some people will say that's justifiable. Kill a
Well,
racist.
I don't listen. I just want to say maybe if you can clobber him one. Shooting a man in the chest is a bit excessive.
Also, it was the worker. The worker had a
Yeah.
gun on him.
It's a Checkers. You ever been to a Checkers?
It's been a long. Is Rally's this? Rally's Checkers?
I feel, well, Checkers is more of like a West Coast thing, I think. I don't think there's any Checkers here in the Midwest. All I know is out here we have Hardee's. We don't have Carl's Jr. We have Hardee's. We're very proud of Hardee's. But occurrences like these happen more often than you think. A Michigan woman reacted with shocking aggression after a McDonald's order came up short. I hear you, sister. I mean, I ordered 2 cheeseburgers. If I only see fucking 1 in there, I'm going ape shit, dude. It's a whole ranting, raving thing, isn't it? I mean, I asked for 2, and then everyone's eating their correct order, and you're like,
Oh yeah, it's the worst if they forget your thing.
just your thing.
Yeah.
And then you kind of expect somebody to fall on the sword and be like, well, just take mine. At a McDonald's in Michigan, Shanika Torres and a friend were going through the drive-thru picking up their order. When they received their food, they realized the staff had forgotten to include bacon on their bacon cheeseburgers.
That's a big one.
That's the end of the fucking world. They drove back around and complained to the management and were even given free bacon cheeseburger that they could cash in the next time they came to the restaurant. Can't you just give them a fucking free bacon cheeseburger then? That's almost a slap to the face, isn't it? Hey, next time you come back, because we know you will, that's when you can pick it up. The next day, Shanika and her friend pulled back through the drive-thru and tried to get their complimentary burger, but the staff had forgotten it again. In a fit of rage, Shanika pulled out a handgun and shot a bullet from the passenger seat of her friend's car through the driver's side window and into the kitchen before speeding off. She was arrested shortly after and sentenced to 7 years in prison, and along with prison time, she also had to pay $1,500 in damages and was permanently banned from McDonald's restaurants. Which I just want to say, the gun aspect makes no sense to me. Cut your losses and just be like, they've messed up my order twice in a row, I'm not going back. Is that not the simple answer?
You slided me, man.
Don't get me wrong, demons tap my shoulders too. What if I just crawled through there and I strangled everyone in the restaurant right now? Workers and the people enjoying their food.
And the children.
You have the children, whatever, you're just like,
It's justifiable, I think. What if...
what the f? No, I mean, I'm just saying that I feel like everybody has that tipping point, man. I'm curious to see what our tipping point is. What would be the thing to where I shoot a fucking gun off?
Everyone's got that breaking point. It's years. I'm telling you, it's years of buildup. It's not the cheeseburger. It's something else.
Well, exactly. It's years, or it's a line of things. Your boyfriend forgets your birthday. Your boss forgets this, and then it's just the McDonald's thing was just the tipping over point, you know?
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. Wait. So thank you so much for Gamer Subs for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. Sometimes fast food menus can be extensive and confusing. Like, which one? I don't think I've ever been to one where I'm like, what is this? Do you guys have Coke? Do you have Coca-Cola? Okay, sorry, the menu, I just couldn't read it. Asking a question about a food item is pretty normal, but in Arby's in Alabama, it sent the manager over the edge. I like how it's just an Arby's. That's the one menu that's the easiest. They have roast beef sandwiches, that's it. Can I have a vanilla shake? We don't have that. We have the Jamocha shake. Cocksucker. Jamiria Hairston and her 2 daughters pulled up to the window at their local Arby's and began asking questions about the milkshakes. Holy shit, dude. The manager, Shia Peoples, became upset. Don't look at me. I'm just saying that. Did I not say it right? It's Shia Peoples.
You did.
Shia Peoples, and it was just... became upset out of nowhere and began to hurl insults at Jamiria and call her names. Jamiria tried to calm them down, but that only agitated Shia further. Without a word, she vanished into the kitchen. That's scary. Power walk into the fogs of war.
Do you think she was saying, calm down, bro? Calm down, bro.
What are you even talking about? What the f are you talking about? I think that... What? What do you mean?
Oh, it's okay, because like usually when people are getting upset and then you're just like, hey, take it easy, man. That usually
No,
pisses
what I think
people off.
happened was a woman pulled up and she was like, hey, do you guys have like, literally, do you have a vanilla shake? And I think the person just fucking lost it. Because what I think it was some petty answer. And I think that's where it got the ball rolling.
I see.
You have a vanilla shake? Does it say we have a vanilla shake? And the person's like, okay, I mean, I was just asking. I was just asking. And then it's like, why don't you go f yourself? No, fuck you! That kind of thing. That back and forth is how I see it. Because that would send me over the edge. If a person was like, I don't know, can you fucking read? I'd be like, I don't know. Why don't you come out here and say it to my face, you bitch? And they'd come out and they'd just like kick my ass immediately. Oh, no! Hey, oh. I'd roll up my window. real quick. Anyways, a few minutes later, Shia returned with a container of hot oil and threw it out of the window onto Jamiria, causing her to suffer second-degree burns all over her body. My God. Fucking Arby's grease oil. beginning of like RoboCop or something. She was fired from her job and arrested on first-degree assault, but was freed after posting a $30,000 bail. Since then, Jamiria has sued Arby's, and the case is still pending. I think Arby's should fucking pay up, dude.
Oh yeah, it's their fault.
Someone that was working at your restaurant threw scolding fucking lava at me. We'll see what the lawyers think is best.
Now I know if I'm ever in a heated argument and the manager disappears, I'm
Drive. Get on here. Go. One might think that being a drive-through worker would be relatively safe, since they can easily close the window. If things get too heated, you can kind of just shut people out. But still, there are tons of stories where this is not enough to protect them.
They should put bulletproof glass.
I think in every establishment, it should be bulletproof glass. You don't know. It could be anybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes I know that some places like inner city stuff or like any places where, oh, the crime rate's high. I know that sometimes they'll put like bulletproof. That should be everywhere. You never know when some sadistic in the middle of nowhere. The amount of weird shit I've seen, like driving across country and you stop at like a gas station that has like a McDonald's attached to it in the middle of nowhere. You never know. Someone could just come out there and just be like, yeah, I have no idea. I think that it should be like a fucking standard thing. A safety glass, no matter what. Doesn't mean it has to look like a fucking, fallout shelter, but
But there should be a panic button.
The metal grades come down like a fucking vampire movie or something like that. At McDonald's in Tennessee, Caitlin Brantley pulled up to a drive-thru window to complain about her order being wrong. Manager Tiffany Sherrod went to the window and told Caitlin that she could easily fix her order. However, this was not good enough. Caitlin got out of the car, crawled through the drive-thru window, and began to punch Tiffany repeatedly. To defend herself, Tiffany grabbed a coffee pot and proceeded to hit Caitlin in the head over and over again. And in the scuffle, Caitlin would lose her wig, bearing a bald spot that became the unfortunate target of a hot coffee pot. Once she broke free, Caitlin went around the kitchen, trashing the restaurant before crawling out of the window and getting back in her car. I want to say this. If you crawled in the window, just leave through the front door. Like a little mole crawling back through the window. Come on now. Police were able to locate her and charge her with assault and vandalism quickly, but this isn't the first time that Caitlin has been charged with assault of a fast food worker, which is kind of awesome. 2 years earlier, she and her family assaulted a 17-year-old Checkers host and left him unconscious for 30 minutes with bruised lungs and a concussion. How the fuck is this person? How is this person walking the streets free? What the fuck? Also, what is going on with Checkers?
I was gonna say, yeah, what is going on?
My God, how the fuck is that possible? How did you leave someone like you hit him, he was unconscious, he has bruised lungs? It's like, all right, just don't go to Checkers anymore. Caitlin, you crazy bitch. Judge Hancock. Isn't that fucking wild?
Maybe she had a good lawyer.
Isn't that so weird? We got the charges dropped down to just an oopsie daisy. Companies like Starbucks offer specific menu items for people's pets who come with their owners in the drive-thru. I do it all the time, me and my wife. Get little pup cups. Pretty sure it's just a little cup of whipped cream. They do.
Now they charge you. It used to be free.
They charge for a pup cup now? I'm not paying for it. That'd be my moment where I'm crawling through the fucking window. Give me the whipped cream container. Most of the time, animals are well behaved, but occasionally one will slip through the window. All right, maybe you should charge for it. At a Starbucks in Alabama, dude. At a Starbucks in Alabama, workers were going about their day when Tammy Gardner pulled up to the window with her pet Otis monkey in the car. Okay, first off, I'm not giving a fucking pup cup to a monkey. If somebody was just like, hey, can I get a pup cup for Chim Chim here? And the monkey's just like... I would be like, park the car and leave the fucking windows rolled up and come inside and get the pup cup, dude. Before the window worker could react, the monkey jumped onto the employee and began attacking them. The monkey bit their hands and nearly took their eyes out before other employees were able to pry the monkey off the coworker and throw it back into Tammy's car. Get it out of there! Tammy's like, oh, throw him to me! How are you taking your monkey to Starbucks and then also being like, can we get this little guy a pup cup?
A little monk cup?
We want a monk cup. Both Tammy and the monkey sped off before. Okay, we don't need to see and the monkey. It's like Speed Racer or whatever. Both Tammy and the monkey sped off before later returning and asking if the employee was all right. Oh, that's so. Was the monkey there too?
Yeah, Chim, sorry.
But you don't know why you did it. Do you know why you did it, Chim? He's just like in the passenger seat, just does a little dance. As a result of this attack, Starbucks banned all primates from entering their drive-thrus. What? How is that not a rule already?
Aren't we primates?
All right, hold on. Okay, dude, fuck off. That was the cringiest. If it was a 7th grade science class, I'd punch you right in the fucking face. Ban all primates. Aren't we primates? Evolution, anyone? I think they have to actually come out though and be like, so I'm actually moving forward. All monkeys are to no longer be getting iced chai lattes. I will be taking questions now. Tammy was cited for 2 city violations, forcing her to pay $50 and to make sure her monkey remained on her. That is not punishment enough. If a fucking beagle bites a kid, the beagle's put down immediately. If a fucking monkey Tarzan's its way inside a Starbucks, is biting you and tries gouging your eyes out, put the little motherfucker down, dude.
Yeah, I would.
Can you take a, how the do you could just own a monkey?
My grandma used to own a monkey.
Bruh.
Why?
I don't know. She really liked it. But she had to get rid of it when she had kids because they.
I wonder why. I wonder why. Did your grandma fuck the monkey?
No.
You said that in such a, he did this.
No.
I think your grandma got a freak with a monkey. She's like, play me like a recorder. Grabbed her. She's like, oh. Drive-thrus can be super unpredictable. Some people order a lot and some barely order anything. Sometimes customers order nothing, and that's who you should fear the most. At a McDonald's in Indianapolis, workers had to deal with a customer speeding through their drive-thru line. And when the woman reached to the window after skipping the menu, she jumped out of her car and exposed her entire naked body to everybody in the kitchen. She ran around her car and started throwing bricks at all the windows in the restaurant before driving off. Workers were so shocked that they were unable to get the full details of the woman and her car. So she remains at large to this day. That is a true drive-by.
Yeah.
What the that's a huge distraction. So much has happened, you don't even know how to process it. In total, the damages to the building cost around $15,000, but thankfully, no employees or other customers were hurt. There are plenty of distractions on the road for drivers, and eating while driving is another to tack onto that list. Some view it as controversial, with some states trying to make it illegal. In 2015, Madison Turner was driving from Alabama, of course, to Georgia when he stopped at a McDonald's and ordered a hamburger for the road. Thinking nothing of it, he began to eat his food and drive towards his destination when a state patrol officer pulled him over. When the officer reached his window, he stated that he observed Madison eat his burger for more than 2 miles and that he was going to ticket him for distracted driving. It took you 2 miles to eat a McDonald's burger? Oh my God.
I bet he was swerving too.
Whoa! Whoa! Despite there being no laws saying you can't eat while driving, Madison was forced to pay the ticket. Maybe people are on the right track to think this because of the sheer number of crashes that result from people eating behind the wheel. And out in Ohio, Nicholas Fleming was driving on an unfamiliar back road. Along the way, he had dropped his donut while reaching for his cup of coffee. As he bent down to pick it up, Nicholas didn't see 2 cars in front of him and ended up colliding with both. One car was completely flattened, while the other sustained severe damage to the front side, which is fucking crazy. Also, just let the donut go.
Come on, man. That's a good donut.
Ooh. Also, too, to like not even look.
I was gonna say, how far were you looking?
Exactly.
Oh,
Just completely dipping out of frame. Like speeding up too. Thankfully, nobody was fatally injured, and the worst injuries sustained were a few broken bones, which is brutal, but God, that could have been so much worse. In Michigan, a 75-year-old man named Ronald Blazer was driving down a country road while eating a delicious sandwich. I'm gonna leave that up to you. You can make it whatever sandwich you want it to be. And mine, it's pastrami on rye with a little bit of sauerkraut. Oh. He was so focused on eating that he was using both hands to hold the sandwich and had his knees steering the wheel. A 75-year-old man. While eating, Ronald choked on his food and passed out. He lost control of the car and rolled it into a ditch. After some time, he awoke and crawled out. That would be the worst. I would say just let me die in that instance, dude. Can you imagine like being upside down in your car, the sandwich still kind of there, and you're like,
I bet the airbag did the Heimlich. Like,
what if the airbag saved him?
Yeah.
The one time an airbag actually like does some good. It doesn't just shatter your fucking vertebrae. When medics arrived, he declined any assistance and went about his day despite having totaled his car. That's embarrassment for sure. I'm fine. I think it was like a deer actually or something. In a previous video, we discussed the dangers of hot fast food coffee. Well, it looks like another driver has fallen victim to it, which this is not fucking playing around with hot coffee, dude. You gotta watch out.
We gotta think they're like teenagers. They don't give.
Oh yeah, it's like scalding hot. They're like, I don't here. Here, take it. Ow, hot, hot. Down under in Australia, a fuel tanker driver was coming up on a packed intersection when he fumbled his coffee, causing him to smash into multiple cars and cause an 8-car pileup. While no one was fatally injured, multiple drivers had to be taken to the hospital, with some being rescued by nearby witnesses. Initially, it was believed a technical failure had caused the accident. However, when it went to court, it was revealed that the coffee was to blame. He was charged with 5 counts of reckless driving and sentenced to 100 hours of community service and a 16-month correction order. He was also banned from driving for 18 months. If you ever crave fast food, it's probably best to stay home and cook. From coffee spills to naked customers to deadly conflicts, who knew that such a simple concept of a drive-thru window could cause this much divide and disaster? The next time you get in line for your next meal, make sure to check your mirrors and keep a keen eye on your fellow patrons. You never know what psychos could be ahead of you or behind you. Take care, everyone. I appreciate you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sit on down because today we're talking about the crazy world of organ donations. If you ever had to go in for surgery, you'd know how stressful it can be. I mean, medical procedures are necessary but often scary part of life. I always think I'm going to be in that very small case of people who go under anesthesia and they never come out of it.
Oh, yeah, that scares me.
That f***s me up, man. Apparently it doesn't happen a lot, but I'd be a statistic.
I'm worried about my dogs never waking up.
There are numerous procedures that one can undergo, but one of the most vital is organ donations. This operation has saved millions of lives since its inception and has people waiting for literal decades for a chance at getting an organ. However, not everything is as perfect as it seems. Hospitals are typically seen as a safe place, but sometimes they can be someone's worst nightmare. Today, we're going to explore the world of organ donation to see how bizarre it can really be. First up on our docket is animal organs. Typically, most organ transplants are human to human, but because there's a limited supply of human organs, doctors have resorted to animals instead, or xenotransplantation. 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 You get animal stuff and you put it in a human. I feel like I was born with a pig heart or a quail heart. I feel like my heart is too small for my large frame.
A little Grinch heart?
I do have a little Grinch heart, and I have to be so evil to make it big. That's how I survive every day. It's just science. But xenotransplantation is the practice of taking an organ from one species and placing it in another. Which, if that's the case, then too, could I be like, I just have enough money, I'm gonna just put a human heart in my cat? This happened with an Alabama resident, Tawana Looney. Great name. Yeah. Tawana Looney. Oh, dude, call that boy Looney Tunes? Hell yeah. Who originally donated one of their kidneys to her mother in 1999 and 2 years later lost another one after a pregnancy complication. She had been on the donor wait list since 2017, and due to her high levels of antibodies, she was likely to never receive an organ donation as the likelihood of her body rejecting it were extremely high. But in 2022, she got the opportunity to skip the wait list and try out a gene-edited pig kidney, a procedure that only 4 others have ever tried at this time. Which I would say too, if that's your only chance of survival, I'd be like, fucking put a pig kidney in me, dude. I wouldn't give up. Put a skunk in me.
What's weird?
A whole skunk. Let him roll around in there and see if he can squirt some good juice on me. I don't know.
I thought they were already doing, like, they said, like, oh, I have a pig heart, but apparently they've been doing pig valve transfers.
Oh, so it isn't a full heart, it's just the valves.
This is actual, yeah.
Well, no, I know. The pig kidney's the full thing. Yeah, because people say, oh, I have a pig heart, but no, it's just the tubes.
It's just the valve, yeah.
The guinea pig tubes crawling around. And on November 25th, 2024, just of last year, the organ transfer was surprising success, and her new kidney lasted around 130 days before the body began to reject it. Which, to be fair, almost a whole year, whereas before I feel like it was instantaneous. So I would still consider that a success. I'm guessing because of that, do you think it's just gonna be like you just have to come in and keep replacing it? I mean,
imagine doing open, like,
God, I feel like it would just fuck you up. I don't know.
Can you keep cutting the same spot over and over again?
Well, I mean, would you have to continuously do new spots? You'd have to. Brutal, bro. This is a record-breaking achievement, as the other 4 patients' bodies usually rejected the pig kidneys only 60 days after receiving it. As of today, Looney had the kidney removed and is on dialysis, but her story proves that there is some potential in xenotransplantation. But not all animal transplants are successful. Some can turn deadly, like 57-year-old David Bennett, who had been diagnosed with terminal heart disease. And in an effort to save his life, doctors replaced his heart with that of a pig's.
There you go, pig heart.
The surgery was successfully performed in January of 2022, but only 2 months later, he suddenly passed. Unbeknownst to David, the organ he received had a virus called porcine cytomegalovirus virus, which is usually only contractable in pigs, which is fucking crazy because there's no way doctors are looking for a pig disease inside of a human. Following his death, his family questioned how such a tragedy could occur. Doctors responded that the heart came from a lab-grown pig and admitted that they were unsure how the infection slipped through, which I would say too. You couldn't get me on a grass-fed pig? You gotta be a test tube piggy? That's man. Neither the hospital nor the doctors who performed the surgery faced any legal problems because of the FDA's compassionate use rule, which allows for experimental treatments for conditions with no other options. Which, to be fair, it's like, we're gonna sue them for trying to help you out. I mean, what the f?
Yeah, it's like a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You're at the bottom of the list, buddy.
Even though, to be fair, I would take the fucking test tube gub piggy and I'd be like, I'm gonna throw the motherfucker in a 3D printer, whatever you have to do to figure out if there's anything wrong with it, you know what I mean? I like to think it's like a black and blue. They're like, well, they just put it in the guy. I don't know. But for decades, doctors have also explored the use of animal organs for their potential anti-aging properties, with some even experimenting with transplants in hopes of rejuvenating the body and extending human life, which I find that to be weird because animals die so much faster than humans, unless they're just like, you're gonna be the first crustacean man. It's like a Fly movie, but you're just like all lobster and you're walking around. Why? Walking the earth forever. I want to die. Even back in 1920, French surgeon Sergei Abrahamovich Voronov began experimenting with the effects of transplanting animal testicles into human bodies for medical purposes. Sure. This idea actually came from another doctor named Charles Edward Brown Seguard. What the f are these names? Who had injected himself with ground up guinea pig and dog testicles. Ha! He was hoping to slow down the aging process. How did you come to that, Doc? Put it in a blender with the guinea pig and the testicles and I'll drink it right now. What are you talking about? Or what if that was the first collagen?
Oh, yeah, putting it in
Your
his
face looks huge. It's like swollen. He's just like, thank you. I feel great. He claimed that his urine jet stream quadrupled. I didn't read that. He claimed that his urine jet stream quadrupled. His bowels moved more regularly, and he was filled with energy. So basically, he's just like, I piss harder, I shit more, and I feel fucking on top of the moon, dude. I feel on top of the world! But unfortunately, 5 years later, Charles sadly died.
Wonder why.
But through Charles' work, Sergei saw inspiration and got the brilliant idea to graft thin slices of chimp and baboon testicles into his patient's scrotums, hoping to see similar effects, as one would. And surprisingly, after a few attempts, he was successful. His patients claimed having higher sex drives, better eyesight, and improved memory, and even lived longer. His practices gained so much popularity that some soccer teams in the 1940s, such as Portsmouth Football Club and Wolverhampton Wanderers, utilized its practices to improve their players' performance. However, following the 1940s, the surgery lost credibility and it fell into obscurity. I wonder why. It feels weird that it had some positive stuff. Do you think they were just like, we can't keep doing this to the baboons?
It might have I was gonna say it might have been placebo effect. Man, I feel good.
It probably was a placebo effect thing. They're like, you have chimp in you now. And they're like, I'm stronger. They just gave them confidence, basically. Yeah. But using animal organs is just the beginning when it comes to dark and complex world of the organ donation system. There are far more weirder donation stories out there. And although organ transplanters are now considered routine surgeries, each patient's experience can vary differently, right? We all know about your routine kidney transplant or your heart transplant, but what about womb transplants? Now you could do that. I didn't. I mean, a Scottish woman by the name of Grace Davidson was born with a rare condition called Mary Rotansky's Kuster House Hauser syndrome.
That was pretty good.
I tried. Whatever. But it causes the womb to not fully develop, meaning she couldn't have kids on her own, which probably bummed her the f out, dude. I want some little tykes running around. That's pretty good Scottish accent, I'd say.
Is Fiona?
Well, she's Scottish. I'm Grace Davidson. I want some poops running around, but I can't because of the syndrome head. Is that good?
That was really good.
All right, thank you. Luckily, her sister Amy didn't have this condition and was able to have 2 children on her own. So, when she met her husband and decided they didn't want more kids, Amy graciously donated her womb to her sister Grace, hoping she could successfully start a family. And in 2023, doctors successfully transplanted the womb into Grace, making the first of its kind. This resulted in Grace's first child, Amy, with many calling it a miracle, which is fucking crazy. At the same time, does that mean that it's technically her sister's kid? Or no?
Because the ovaries are where the eggs are produced.
So it's the ovaries and stuff, the eggs and stuff are still hers,
just
but
the
the
womb.
actual fucking like nest that the baby grows in, I see.
So the egg is hers.
The
and then
nest, the fish trap, the fish net that is known as the woman's vagine womb. That's where it is. She's just like, take my parts, I don't need them. It's like a muffler. Car runs fine. Whatever. Since then, there have been 50 babies born through womb transplantation, and Grace hopes to donate her sister's womb back after she has her second baby. Bro, I'd be like, keep it. You know what I mean? What the you can keep it. I'm good.
I know, I thought that was so weird.
Yeah, have it back. I don't want it anymore. I had it at first, but now I don't know what the hell that I don't know what accent that was. Just as with any surgery, there is always a risk that something could go horribly wrong. It's the funnest thing about you have to go to surgery. I'm gonna die. You know how many times it's been something too, which is like it's a routine surgery, it's easy. It's like he didn't make it. How fucking horrifying that is.
There's a 1% chance of happening.
God, dude, my grandma too. That crazy old bitch. She's had like so many. She doesn't give a. Put me under. It's like her knees. Put me under. I don't care. It's like that old head where they're just like, doctors are doctors. They're perfect. You're like, I don't trust them. You know what I mean? I'm fucking horrified of going to the doctor. Like having a surgeon transplant a deadly cancer into your body. In 2019, a 69-year-old Arizona man went to Maya Clinic to get a liver transplant after suffering from severe liver cirrhosis, excessive drinking. My future, it's gonna be fun. And he also had liver cancer. Initially, the surgery went fine, and the organ was successfully transplanted. However, 4 months later, doctors noticed that there were 2 large masses in the new organ that they transplanted. After closer investigation, it was discovered that the donor had more advanced and aggressive forms of lung cancer that spread to his liver before the donation. This fact was never caught before the liver was put into the 69-year-old patient. And unfortunately, because the cancer had spread throughout the patient's body, he was unable to get another liver transplant and died just a few months later. So you had cancer before, we thought we removed it, but we gave you a worse cancer. We goofed. But I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to doctors fumbling the bag. In the UK, a doctor caused multiple patients to become ill and another to die because of his medical malpractice during an organ transplant. This event took place in 2015 when a surgeon was removing organs from a deceased donor and accidentally nicked the stomach, causing its contents to spill all over the rest of its internal organs, which I want to say doesn't sound like a little nick. Sounds like he was like, and like fucking Chipotle and everything just started spewing out. He's like, ah, like curry and everything. No! He like had to start scooping it out of the stomach. And instead of following standard procedures, the surgeon didn't report the error and allowed the now slop-covered organs to be transplanted into the other patients. So imagine a giant piece of like Chipotle honey chicken and brown rice just being like, all right, and then just like you're like, F it. Hello?
Hello.
What?
Hi.
Brush that off.
His gloves onto him. All right. I mean, what the f is going on? And this resulted in dangerous consequences. No. One patient received a contaminated organ that had a fungal infection called Canidia which caused him to have an aneurysm and pass away. The guy had like a piece of zebra cake on his fucking organ, and he's just like, and then just short circuited and died. Dude, it is fucking I mean, like, this is an obvious statement. Like, this is obvious. I get it. But it is frightening how fragile the human body is. Like, the brain. Like, all we have is a fucking skull.
To protect it? Yeah.
I'm fucked. I don't know when. I see, and I'm such a hypochondriac. Because I think about this now and see I'm already, like, my brain, it feels tense. Like, I'm like, here it comes.
The aneurysm?
The aneurysm, here it fucking comes.
Sometimes I feel one coming.
Banana. Because I'm like, think banana and say it. Banana. 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 One. It's a horrible video I did to do, dude. I'm scared now. I'm frightened. I'm frightened. It's not funny. I'm fucking freaked out. Another patient received an infected kidney that put them into a coma recording. Put them into a coma and forced them to be on dialysis for a year, getting 16 blood transfusions. Oh my God. This kidney would later be removed due to how infected it was. Oh, did they finally get around to it? You know, it's like stomach's like huge, whatever. Well, I guess we should take out the kidney. It's been about a year. A third patient received the other kidney and experienced similar complications. The doctor who removed the organs was a student at Oxford University and never lost his medical license. All the people in the UK are like, he's still out there? While these tragic cases highlight the devastating consequences of negligence and... Sorry. Itchy nose. Jesus Christ.
You do bump?
No. While these tragic cases highlight the devastating consequences of the negligence in organ transplantation, the world of organ donation can also take unexpected and deeply personal turns. Imagine giving your kidney to the love of your life, just for her to leave you and take your kidney with her. All right? That would me. I'd be like, that'd be the time where I'm like, give it back. Give it back. I'm taking it back. You get half of everything, chop the fucking kidney in half and give half of it back to me. That's what I'd say. One doctor lived this exact tale and fought to recover his kidney. Good man. Dr. Richard Batista gave his kidney to his wife in 2001 after her kidneys began to fail. Once he found out he was a match, he gave her one without question. But 4 years later, he found out that his wife was cheating on him and filed for divorce.
I save your life, and this is what you do.
I give you a fucking kidney!
And she's just like, I don't know. He still doesn't know how to really reach back there and get it.
Thank you, neighbor, or whoever the f she was sleeping with. Oh my God. It's normal for couples going through divorce to fight over possessions, but Richard was determined to get his kidney back because he's a fucking Chad. So he took his wife to court and demanded that she either give him the kidney back or pay $1.5 million. Yes! The story was so ridiculous that the news outlets picked it up and provided coverage for everyone to watch. And it wasn't until 4 years after the initial divorce had been filed that a Supreme Court judge denied his request. Boom! Stating that the kidney was a gift and therefore he could not get it back. Okay, was it a gift or was that he just being like, you're gonna die, I'm gonna help you out? Are you fucking kidding me? That's bullshit. I'd be like, pay up, pay the piper, bitch. You know what I mean? She probably has like some like little fucking buck-toothed kid now from this new guy.
Yeah.
Do that, and I'm like, also, you have to drown your child in a river.
I know. I take the kid's kidney.
That's such a good idea. Oh my God. Drown the kid or give me his kidney. That's only fair, because either let him die or give me his kidney.
And then when he does die, you still get his kidneys.
Grabbing that little motherfucker, reeling him in, cutting that bitch open myself. That's only fair, Nick.
He's a doctor.
All right, keep the money. I don't need money. That's fine. I want my fucking kidney, though. And I'm getting it from you. The kid's like, guess what? Mommy's a whore. That's what I'd say. Mommy's a fucking little slut. The new guy's like, yeah, she is. I love you, girl. She's like, I feel great with this kidney. She's probably flaunting it too and shit. Yeah. Oh my God. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
I bet he's thinking about his kidney getting by that guy.
Oh my God.
It's
the guy's fucking jisms and spit, all kinds of stuff, just swimming past, being like, you know what I mean? Doing the little drive-bys, whatever. That would fuck me up, dude. Also, your kidney, like, fueling that new guy's baby. Oh my God.
Do you think he's done back shots on the kidney scar?
Oh, absolutely. Slapped and shit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Fucking like ripping out. She's like, stop. He's like, yeah, I don't fucking care. New handle. God. But we need to make patron saints for the channel. And I want to say right now, Dr. Richard Batista is a patron saint of this channel. What? Am I wrong? He got fucked.
Here.
I would fucking happily. You know what? Next time something happens, I'm flying to that motherfucker. Take my fucking kidney. Take it. I'm fat as shit. And I drink a lot. I don't know how valuable it is, but still you can have it. Put it in a glass jar. I don't give a fuck what you do with it. What are we talking about? Then there's the story of one man's life hitting rock bottom after losing his penis. Not just one time, but twice. In 2005, a 45-year-old Chinese man lost his penis in an undisclosed accident that, according to his surgeons, quote, left him with a small stump, unable to urinate or have sex normally. I'd kill myself. At the request of both the man and his wife, doctors performed a penis transplant using the organ from a 22-year-old man deceased donor. Awesome. That young dick, too. Good for him, man. He's just like, look at him now. Slapping against his thighs. Yeah, between his legs. He's like, take me down to Kokomo. The surgery was a huge success. See? Huge success. As it was the first ever transplanted penis. 2005 was the first ever transplanted penis. man.
I was learning a lot. I was like,
That's
I thought we already
insane.
did this.
Wow, you would think that they've been doing that forever. All right. Doctors reported that there was no signs of rejection and that everything functioned normally. However, after the man returned home, his wife began to psychologically reject the new organ and insisted it be removed.
Do you think it was too big, a different shade of color, or weird looking?
I don't care. How often are you actually like mean mugging that motherfucker, like looking at it? Lights usually off, you're underneath the cover. I mean, how would you psychologically reject?
Do you think it winked at her?
I'm gonna have to get this fucking Chinese guy. We might have two patron saints back to back. Yeah, she probably was looking at it. She's like, no, and like a yokai or something was like, I don't know how she got that, whatever. But she insisted that it be removed. Not long after the transplant, he underwent another surgery to have it removed to make his wife happy.
Women, man. Women.
What in the f is going on, Nick? Am I fucking going insane? Hello? Are these the two greatest men on earth? Because how many times would other guys would be like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
We're done then. Are these the nicest men to ever live? Hello?
Well, what's crazy is like this is the first time it's ever happened. It's like, well, what if it doesn't work?
You're the first case in recorded history. Yep, well, your penis works fine. You can get an erection normally. And he's like, this is a miracle. I don't like it. Take it off. I'd be like, how about you put a fucking gun in your mouth? Is that too much to say?
No.
That's
appropriate, yeah.
That is... This has made me, I'm sad. Like, I'm scared. I'm sad. This is too many. There are many different ways and reasons why people undergo organ transplants, but not everyone consents to having their organs removed. And in many places around the world, some people profit from harvesting organs by working in organ trafficking rings. Which I know there's the meme of like, oh, I went down to Tijuana, I woke up in a bathtub filled with ice and my kidney was gone. Whatever. I know that's like kind of a meme. I feel like it was a meme. You don't see it as much now, but that was a thing.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Around the world, thousands of people either go missing or are found dead due to being trafficked for their organs, often referred to as the red market. Human organ trafficking rings are international groups that target children, tourists, and the weak for their precious organs that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars a pop. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Like in Pakistan, when a 14-year-old boy went missing and was later found alive on an operating table.
I feel like I've seen this in like 24 or something.
Something like that. Well, I feel like a lot of these stories, these are real stories, and then just like shows steal them for premises. You know? Yeah. Pakistani police raided an underground lab suspecting an operating organ trafficking ring and found a boy who had been missing alive without his kidney. And according to reports, this ring would lure in young children with this prospect of a good paying job, only to drug them and take them to an underground lab to take their organs. They were selling these organs for around 900,000 rupees, or approximately $4,000 a piece. And following the raid, 6 men were arrested, and police believe some doctors who worked for the ring are still at large today. How fucking sad is that too? 14-year-old kid for a good paying job, he's like, I just want to work. Gets lured in and this fucking kidney gets taken.
That's fucked.
At that young of an age, to be that like forward going and like, oh, I want a good paying job, whatever. It's just, ugh. Also, $4,000, that's all you're selling them for? No fucking wonder, dude. People are buying those up like crazy. What the fuck? Some other people are selling it for hundreds of thousands. $4,000? Word? Almost 1 million fucking rupees? Goddamn, man. That's in Nepal and Mozambique, a group of Catholic nuns had been dealing with human traffickers for years. The traffickers repeatedly tried to abduct children from the nuns' orphanage and even ambush them after they worked with police to expose the group. The nuns believed that the traffickers were taking these children and harvesting their reproductive organs for powerful magical charms. And so they went to the police to try to stop it. Before the group made progress, 53-year-old nun Dorasi Danger was found strangled and beaten outside her home. Her fellow nuns knew it was the work of a trafficking group, yet police and government officials did absolutely nothing. And to this day, nobody has been arrested for the death of Miss Danger, with many believing her death was part of a cover-up, and organ trafficking remains a big problem in Mozambique. Which I just want to say this too, actual saint.
Yeah.
3 fucking saints in one video, by the way. That's, I mean, my God. Organized crime rings can be scary, but in the world of organ donors, things can get much, much darker. Here are some of the most macabre tales of organ donations. One of the most common fears for people going into surgeries is waking up in the middle of it. For one man, this was a reality. In October of 2021, TJ Hoover was rushed to the local hospital after a drug overdose. Believing he was brain dead, surgeons at the hospital rushed his body into the intensive care to begin inspecting his organs for donation. His sister Donna, who took him to the hospital, watched helplessly as her brother was wheeled past her. She saw his eyes darting back and forth and tears streaming down his face as he was taken into the operating room. She quickly reported this to the staff, but was told it was a common reflex. But That was far from the truth. TJ was laid and sedated on the operating table only to wake up and begin thrashing and screaming while in the middle of a cardiac catheterization, which is a simple, non-invasive procedure. As soon as they realized that he was alive, all work stopped and he was removed from the room for re-examination. Following the event, multiple staff who were in the room either quit or requested therapy due to how traumatic the event was, which I could see. That would, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
TJ never fully recovered from this accident and has to have his sister be his legal guardian for the rest of his life.
That's like a big fear too. I feel like
Oh my God. That's all I hear. People sit there and they kind of like wake up and they look down and see their organs being removed from them or like see their self like cut open. I think psychologically you would never, that would f you up forever too. Some organ recipients may experience changes in their personality or preferences after receiving an organ. For one man, it changed a lot more than just his personality. It changed his life. Sonny Graham had only a short time to live due to congestive heart failure when he got a call from a nearby hospital saying that there was an available donor. The heart came from a 33-year-old man named Terry Cottle, who tragically took his own life with a gunshot to the head. Soon after receiving the call, Graham went to the hospital and had his heart replaced. Feeling grateful, he contacted Mr. Cottle's widow and over the next few years fell in love and married Mrs. Cottle.
what?
There is some devious organ donor shit in this deal. This is crazy. I mean, all seemed well until April 1st of 2008. Sonny Graham took his own life by shooting himself in the head, just like his heart donor did. Friends and family said that he showed no signs of depression and were taken off guard by this tragic event, especially Mrs. Graham, who had now widowed the exact same way for the second time.
That's actually
A little suspicious.
yeah.
Is that not? She's like, I can't believe it again.
A little Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, dude. Courtney Love action. Who knows?
There's actually like a pretty big theory that sometimes personalities or DNA can transfer with organ donors.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I've heard, yeah, personality or even like physical traits, like even like fingernail biting, like weird quirks and stuff from other people that you can pick up just from like getting like a body part from them. How fucking crazy is that, man? It's almost like a possession.
Oh, that would actually be.
That'd be kind of a sick movie. TM, trademark me.
Yeah,
That's mine.
get a donor's heart.
You get a donor's heart and you end up getting possessed by his fucking spirit or something. Write it down. Write it down, Nick. Harvard Medical School is one of the most prestigious schools in the nation, if not the world. And hundreds of individuals donate their bodies to the school, hoping their gift will aid the students in medical education. However, behind the scenes, a darker story was unfolding. Cedric Lodge was the manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue for nearly 30 years. And during his tenure, he managed all cadavers coming in and out of the Atomical Gifts program. But he also turned his profession into an illegal business. For over half a decade, Cedric and his wife would regularly steal bodies and organs from the morgue and sell them on their New Jersey home to clients across the nation.
That's a good side gig right there.
That's you're already working at Harvard. He's just like, I need more cheddar. Also, how the f do you get in that game? We could sell these.
Well,
You
he's
know what the
probably, he probably looked at them. These organs, they're perfect.
They're throwing them away.
What?
There's a gold bricks inside these people's bodies. Sometimes their clients would drive up and meet him in the Harvard morgue, while others received their orders through the U.S. Postal Service. One client from Pennsylvania ordered multiple heads and brains and paid for them over PayPal using PayPal description like head number 7 and brains. How f***ed up is that?
I was gonna say that's like Venmo, you know, because it's like a social media.
Yeah, it's probably just emojis of a guy's head and there's like one that's like a brain or like a guy like. A different buyer, Katrina McLean, owned a horror shop named Cat's Creepy Creations and regularly bought parts from Cedric for her store. And some items purchased included a tongue and 2 dissected faces. After his heinous acts were revealed, Cedric was quickly arrested and charged with interstate transportation of stolen goods and conspiracy to commit interstate transportation or stolen goods crimes. What? Each carrying a 10-year prison sentence and a $250,000 fine. As for his wife, Denise, she faced similar charges. In the end, the couple would plead guilty and accept a plea deal in March of 2025. Both are currently awaiting their sentencing.
Yeah, this is a brand new story.
That's this fucking year. It's insane. Harvard isn't the only morgue having issues in America. An Arizona man donated his mother's body to science, hoping they would use her brain to help research a cure for Alzheimer's. Jim Stauffer was trying to move on from his mother's death. He had just received her ashes and believed that her body was being put to good use after her death. That was until a Reuters report showed him that the company he donated his mother's body to, Biological Resource Center, actually sold his mother to the military without his consent. Buckle up, because this is going to be extremely funny. After hearing this news, Jim dug a little deeper and found that his mother was strapped to a chair and put through a simulation to see how IEDs affected soldiers. The U.S. government blew up his mom! Which I just want to say this. Do that with me, please. That is fucking awesome.
I was going to say, I would like to be like, if I die, I want my body to be thrown.
Blow me up, dude.
Throw me in a tiger cage at a zoo and like let kids like watch me get eaten.
Oh my God, dude. Jesus. You really want the kids to watch it? You're like, let the kids watch.
They do that with like other animals. They feed them to the tigers.
In addition to Jim's mother, 20 other bodies were sold to this government program at about $6,000 a piece. Cheap, bro. The whole body, it's like that pussy is used up. All without the family's consent. And in 2014, the FBI would raid the BRC building after connecting it to a human organ trafficking case a few years earlier. And nothing could have prepared the agents to what was inside. Buckets of legs, arms, and heads, male genitalia were found throughout the facility. There were male torsos without limbs or genitalia, and random parts stacked on top of each other with no identification in the freezer. The most insane thing found inside was that of a, quote, large torso with the head removed and replaced with a smaller head sewn together in a Frankenstein manner. On top of all the body parts, investigators found a price list that included whole bodies with no heads and shoulders for $2,900, whole legs for $1,100, and pelvises for $400.
This seems ridiculously cheap.
It's so cheap. Following the raid, owner Stephen Gore was arrested and pleaded guilty to illegally conducting an enterprise, which got him only 4 years of probation and no jail time due to the plea deal.
That's a fitting name, Gore.
It is. I mean, not long after, around 30 families sued Gore for mishandling their loved ones' bodies. And in 2019, a jury awarded $58 million to the victims' families, bringing the case to a close. What a fucking video. What a fucking crazy day, man. My God.
I just, I got my license and I put myself as an organ donor. So.
I do too. Oh, blow me up. I don't fucking know. Most people would have never guessed that organ donations could be such a dangerous and lucrative business. It's a necessary procedure that saves millions of lives and has millions of people waiting for a second chance at life. Yet you never know what will happen or who will be performing your surgery after death. So next time you go into a hospital, maybe think about what's going on behind closed doors, because it might be more sinister than you could have ever imagined. Thank you so much for watching the video today, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. So you have to drown your child in a river.
I know, I take the kid's kidney.
That's such a good idea. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're talking about prison. Social media has made it very accessible to kind of get the ins and outs of what happens in a prison. Maybe you see a prisoner, maybe he makes a love doll out of pillows and he squeezes its ass and its titties and, you know, you're like, that's romantic. Or maybe you watch people smoking weed or maybe stabbing someone to death. Prison has never been more accessible to the common man. With prisoners getting cell phones and all kinds of different weird things happening, it just made me want to make a video talking about all the weird things that happen in everyday prison life. And it seems that every person who has been to prison has an interesting story or some kind of perspective that we from the outsiders, us safe, law-abiding citizens, find scary or fascinating. Have you seen that guy that talks about like, it's like a prisoner who has a social media channel. It's just about how he got addicted to like having sex with men, like getting obsessed with like men's asses.
I'm talking about this motherfucker's ass was so fat. It was like your baby mama. That motherfucker's ass was fat. Ungodly fat, right?
So let's take a look at some of these absolutely wild stories and see what life's like inside the clink. Is that the right word? Verbiage?
Brink?
The clink.
I've never heard of clink.
I'm almost positive clink is a clink. I'm slang a generic term for prison or jail. Okay, the clink. Just making sure. You know, when people think of prison, what do they think? They don't say butts. And pedophiles and murderers. And if you're thinking of a movie, what do you think? You're probably thinking of sneaking in contraband. Right. Some of the best stories come from people trying to smuggle things into prison. Prisoners have to constantly find more creative ways to bring things in, whether it be cell phones or drugs, all that kind of stuff. And they have to get creative. You know, back in the day, it was just your butt. I feel like the butt's a dead meme.
Well, that's the first place they look.
Well, it's the whole thing. They have you like, squat and cough.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's, you get naked and they're like squat and cough. So you squat and you do, you're supposed to immediately just shit out everything. There's no way you're pushing like a box of ibuprofen up that deep, you know what I mean? Our first little subject today, which is an attorney smuggling K2 soaked court documents. First off, just want to say, great prison pic. He looks lovable, but he also looks like he could just kill me with his bare hands. In the gay community, he'd be called a bear. just kind of cool. In 2025, this year, this happened this year, 2025. 37-year-old Nathan Williams got the help of his other inmates to come up with a unique way to smuggle in drugs to Duval County Jail. Oh God, you see that Jacksonville Jaguar thing? Duval. He took an assortment of their legal paperwork and had them soaked in K2, a synthetic form of marijuana that is illegal.
It's illegal now?
I guess it is illegal. Okay, well, I think it's a synthetic form of marijuana. It's like rat poison. If it was marijuana, people would be like, I don't give a fuck. But they're like, no, this is bleach and Tide Pods. That's gonna get you hot. I smoked it once. I know I've told you this story, but I was playing World of Warcraft with my buddy like way back in the day, hitting some shit off of like a Monster energy can pipe, and we were just gaming. All of a sudden, I was like, I had this horrible panic attack, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I thought that I was having a heart attack. I'm like, dude, I'm having a panic attack. So now I can't smoke weed. I haven't smoked weed since I was 16 years old.
Try it again. It's been 32 years.
I don't want to. I'm sticking to healthy stuff like Jack Daniels and whiskey and rum, dude. That's why I have this. That's why I have this body. He was successfully transporting the drugs for financial gain for a while, but an increase in drug overdoses led to an investigation that resulted in him being caught and arrested. He now faces 8 third-degree felonies. So starting it off light, they have this year a little K2 soaked in rat poison, shove it up your bum, and then now people are ODing on doo-doo pills. I don't know how I'd feel about if I'm trying to get high. It's like, this is up my ass. I guess if you're in the clink, it doesn't matter.
You throw a condom around it.
I like to think that it was just like bare fist, just like covered in the K2 oil, and he just like he wants to get high too, and he's like, oh. Well, I guess if it wasn't covered, it would just dissolve in his body, and he would probably just OD himself.
Or he did the saw method and dipped it in wax and swallowed it.
Yeah. Well, I want to get more eccentric with it, so that's why I'm going to switch to pigeons smuggling in phones. Did Dr. Doolittle get arrested? What the f***? How did that happen? In 2017, a pigeon was found trying to enter a Brazilian prison with a cell phone attached to it. Guards noticed that an inmate was frantically trying to capture the moving bird, so they intervened and lured it down with pieces of food. Dig in their asshole and grab out some like a cupcake or something. Hi. Further investigation revealed that it was wearing some sort of vest designed to help it carry contraband over prison walls. Pigeons had supposedly been bred and raised by inmates with the purpose of having them smuggled out and given contraband, so that they could be released and use their instincts to return home.
Bred them in the prison.
He's like, no, give them time. They must make love. Only if they make love is his home. That's a pretty devious way of bringing in some stuff, though, huh? Training pigeons?
How'd they get the first pigeons?
Probably sweet treats or something. Probably plantains or some shit like that. Or we could talk about an updated pigeon, a drone, delivering and drugs to inmates. Well, that makes more sense. You can be pretty far from a drone to control it.
Some of them, yeah. Or you get like a little extender.
Yeah, with a giant metal rod. In 2016, it was discovered that drones were being utilized to smuggle copious amounts of contraband, like drugs, cell phones, and films.
Where they watch these films.
I was also just like, doesn't the cell phone just do that for you? Like, I need magazines, DVDs. It's like, so you have to bring a portable DVD player too? Yeah. When an inmate named Thaddeus Shorts, that's a great name for a prisoner. When an inmate named Thaddeus Shorts had been released from prison, he came up with a scheme to efficiently deliver products to those inside. He would make up to $6,000 per drop-off. Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're not doing daily deliveries, though. There's no way that the guards are like, what is that thing? Drones are so loud. Can you imagine? He's like, it's multi-drops a day. I'm making $700,000 a month. The operation was shut down after Shorts was caught near the facility with a brand new truck he had purchased from his earnings. The vehicle was filled with drugs, DVDs, and other packages alongside a drone. I like the idea that he immediately got out and he's just like, I'm going to buy a $150,000 Ford Raptor. Dropping off Twinkies and to inmates inside, dude. Apparently, he was so proud of the scheme he orchestrated that he told the investigators everything they wanted to know. He told them he was using the money to create a new, customized drone that could carry larger quantities of supplies. He definitely saw Catch Me If You Can. They're going to be so impressed with this evil scheme that I'm doing that the government's going to hire me. Shorts was convicted yet again, prompting prison management to become more aware of how new tech could be utilized to smuggle stuff into prisoners.
Look at that drone.
The picture of this drone is obnoxious. I think DJI drones have 4 propellers. This has, I think it's 8 propellers. If you've never been on a drone, it is not a quiet affair. I don't know how the guards didn't realize this was happening. Also, like, look at all these windows. Is everyone just like... Today's video is sponsored by... Thank you, GamerStuffs, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. Gotta go back to the attorneys, though, dude. Those are the real evil motherfuckers out there in the world. An attorney smuggles fentanyl-laced weed to a dominatrix in prison. It's like if you're an attorney, they're just like, no matter what, there has to be some kind of marijuana in my ass. You have to pay me, and you also have to give me a chapstick tube. In 2023, a Russian dominatrix named Victoria Nostrova began convincing her attorney Christopher Hoyt to smuggle in bags of fentanyl-laced marijuana into the prison for her. She was definitely like silver tonguing that motherfucker. Do you want me to whip you? He's like, yes. Yeah, could I whip you? She's like, if you want. He's like, I'm afraid. Do not be afraid of things you do not understand, Mr. Attorney. He would do this regularly before being caught with a loose bag of drugs in her shoes, leading to the lawyer being arrested and replaced. Oh. Thank God we put the replace thing. Being arrested. Well, was he still in the case? As it turns out, the reason for Victoria's imprisonment is absolutely banana nut crazy. In 2014, she was caught on a traffic camera propping up her recently murdered neighbor in the passenger seat of her car. And according to the victim's daughter, quote, all that was left basically was his skull and bones. No legs, no left hand. I couldn't believe it. She's like, I don't prefer people have left hand. Her goal was to steal money and valuables from the neighbor, but instead became an international fugitive running from the law to escape Russian prison. And by 2016, she started working as a dominatrix while regularly visiting a salon in Queens. It was there that she met Olga Tisk, a stylist that bore a striking resemblance to Victoria. She decided this was her ticket to freedom. Victoria wanted to have Olga killed so that she could take her identity and live out her new life in Queens. God, Victoria's kind of a baddie though, huh?
I'm not a killer. I'm woman. Only woman.
Also, they don't look that similar. I think the only similarity is they kind of have a cold Russian stare. Like they're just like, how are you doing? Victoria begged Olga for an eyebrow touch-up that she could perform at her home. There, she brought out a cheesecake as a thank you gift. Olga ate a slice of the cheesecake and found herself vomiting 20 minutes later before passing out. The cheesecake had been laced with phenazepam, an intense tranquilizer that could lead to death if dosed high enough.
I walked over to the waste paper basket, and right there was this plastic container with what appeared to be the remnants of pastry, something that looked good.
Olga was alive, but spent the entire night feeling sick. To finish the job, Victoria visited her to deliver some chicken soup, again laced with more of the drug, which sent Olga into a coma. She's just like, oh, you're sick from cheesecake I gave you? She's like, yes, her stomach bad. She's like, don't worry, brought you green chicken noodle soup. You have to drink quick though, drink what hot, drink it. Oh. Olga. Oreo, your food is no sit right with Olga. Victoria then ransacked her place for valuable jewelry, a passport, and an employment authorization card before leaving. When she woke up, there were pills surrounding her in what seemed to be a staged urukai. In 2018, the New York Police Department finally found Victoria with her boyfriend buying a 50-inch TV, where she was eventually imprisoned for murder as well as a slew of other crimes that emerged after her arrest. We just want to talk about Victoria. It's an interesting story. I like how they catch her outside of a Best Buy. She's like, I wanted to buy OLED TV. The picture better for me, Olga. They're like, you're Victoria. Are you sure? But, I mean, you know, yeah, we could talk about smuggling stuff all day, but I want to get to the juicy shit. Prisoners of TikTok. Huh? Prison TikTokers, dude. That's where the money's at. Speaking of smuggling, the birth of social media sites like TikTok has given inmates a new hobby to indulge in with the cell phones they smuggle into the cells. That's right. Prisoners have started posting TikToks, giving us a glimpse into life on the inside.
Look how nasty this cell is, man. They just put me in here. I asked for the cleaning supply, they told me no. Look, the light don't even work. I ain't got no light. This the light.
So all you guys, when everyone was complaining about, oh, TikTok's gonna go away. Ooh, this is unconstitutional. Look at some of these TikToks, dude.
2025, we got niggas sleeping in the mat out this bitch. Hey, bro. Are you all right in there? Yeah. All right.
If we get rid of TikTok, then we don't know what the prisoners are doing on the inside. Inmates would post videos of themselves creating do-it-yourself projects, messing around with other inmates, and most importantly, food videos, baby. Many inmates would post detailed videos showing how they would rig their living space to make food that was less depressing than the slop that they would receive on a daily basis. A lot of people making some, horrendous concoctions with various ramen packs and everything else.
This is what set it off. The pickle placement.
Also, some of them, dude, I eat a lot of these recipes that they're doing. One of the bigger prison influencers has made a name for himself as a very prominent TikTok prison chef. Said shelf for a second. His name is Untiktolard, the prison chef. Did I say that right? Untiktolard?
Un tic-tolard.
whose name translates to a TikTok convict. In French, whatever, was he eating snails, dude? Has over 400,000 followers on his account where he posts videos of his personal prison recipes as well as other types of educational, amusing content. Let's show some of it. How quirky. The French sure are fun, aren't they? You know, who gives a fuck about TikTok, right? I shouldn't have even led you down that road, because the thing that connects us human beings is love, relationships, physical affection. So let's talk about prison dating and relationships. Let's roll that shit. I want to first talk about a murderer rapper who impregnates two jail workers. Impressive. In 2024, Darius Tyson was accused of getting 2 employees at Durham County Jail pregnant. You dirty dog. Darius, the highest ranking blood member from North Carolina, was imprisoned due to murder charges for kidnapping, burglary, and conspiracy to commit murder. I thought if you take a prison photo, you have to like look at the camera. Maybe he was looking at a big fat ass of that woman. He's just like, that one's gonna be mine. While in prison, it was discovered that he had intercourse with both a contracted nurse as well as a detention sergeant within the facility, both of which became pregnant. And the shocker here is one of them's a man. Can you imagine? Oh, Darius, what the hell?
Do you think they got upset when they knew?
Yeah, dude. Like, I risked my job and everything to do, you know what I mean? Or maybe they're just like poly. What if they're poly couples? In on it. You never know. He had also used his charm and influence to get another detention sergeant to provide him a phone, which he used to orchestrate illegal drug deals from inside his cell. He was delivered other contraband as well, including a vape pen. But I bet you Darius didn't even consider getting a few. What you want to think today's? No kidding. I just want to know what kind of silver-tongued devil this is, dude. Jesus. Nick just did. That's all he has to do. The girl's like, ooh. Just does, come on. Come on. Darius, no. Come on. If you ever want to try and be like, I want to take you out sometime, the girl's just like, oh, no, I'm good. I have a boyfriend. Come on. Huh? Is that a silver tongue thing to do?
I'm going to try it.
Are you? I legitimately want you to try. Come on. Come on. You can do it at different speeds. Come on. Come on. Come on! In court, he claimed that he was sexually assaulted. Word? Seeing as a detainee by law cannot consent, according to his attorney. Oh, Darius. Playing the system now. He is still in prison and awaiting a trial for his previous charges. Damn! Do you think he kind of did that? He's like, oh, I had sex with them and then I'm going to impregnate him to then they can come back and be like,
they get pregnant. Everybody know.
Darius is a smooth talking man. He got his chops licked. All right, I get it. Let's talk about an OnlyFans prison guard who bangs another prisoner and then goes to jail herself. OnlyFans people, man, they do anything to get that content, won't they?
And it works.
Oh, trust me, the video is very good. Come on. In 2024, a 30-year-old female prison officer went viral online after a video was released where she was seen having sex with an inmate from a London prison. That's just literally a man giving her back shots right there. Do I look pretty? The inmate's friend, who was smoking weed while he was filming the sex tape, saying, guys, we made history. This is what I'm telling you. People discovered that the woman, Linda de Souza Abreu, whatever, Linda, is also an OnlyFans model and a married swinger. Oh, wait, is it still open? Can I still donate? Pretty sick. Apparently, this was not the first time where Linda engaged in sexual activity with a man in the video. There was another instance which was easily found because she was still wearing her prison body cam at the time. She was ultimately jailed for 15 months for a crime and no longer works in the prison. She's like, oh.
It's a crime to have sex with inmates?
Yeah. Come on. That's all she had to do. So what, I can't bang I'm going to lose my job at the prison and not be able to have sex with the inmates anymore? They're like, no. Come on. Or in her case, come on. Charlie XCX is my favorite. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. He's like, would you shut the up? It's a brat summer. You know, prison guards, they're little dirty devils. I mean, this next one we're talking about is prison guards having a jacuzzi orgy. Are there jacuzzis in a prison?
I guess at this one.
Sometimes when people talk about the amenities that prisons have, it makes me just be like, why the f am I out here, dude? I'm paying for that. If I'm paying for a jacuzzi in a prison, I'd be pissed. In Lanton Prison in Belgium, good waffles, it was discovered that 10 prison guards were consistently hosting orgies outside of work. Is that a crime, dude?
No.
I think that's f***ing awesome. One of the male guards would bring everyone over to his house to throw parties inside of his jacuzzi, where they would each draw colored bracelets in order to decide on who their sexual partners were going to be with.
Do you think they drew Magic the Gathering land cards?
Yeah, did they play Magic while they were doing it? No, I like to think that instead of even the beads, after a while, they do that thing that kids do in school where it's just like 3, 4, 5, 6. Red or blue? Red. All right, you're Jared. Wouldn't that be fun? I'd like that. One employee identified as S was a nymphomaniac that literally refused to work until she had sex. In the morning at 6 a.m., she would relay this to her colleagues, and a senior prison official began granting her access to his office to have intercourse with whoever agreed to at that day. So basically, he'd just be like, my room's a pit. She's like, I want to have with Tony. Tony Soprano. All right, fine, I would have with Ash today. Come on. Fuck off, Carmel. I'm busy. This information was given by an anonymous source that revealed that S was hardly qualified to be a security officer. What? Really? It was originally just a visitor who would come to Lanton to see her inmate brother that was charged for murder. The prison guards were shocked to see that she became a prison officer seemingly overnight. She probably just immediately sucked and fucked one of them, right? The man in charge of hosting sex parties was found to be engaging sexually with female inmates as well, which resulted in him being banned from a women's wing of the prison, and S, however, was banned from the men's wing, as they believed that this would help her calm her sexual urges. A thorough investigation had to be conducted to see who else was participating in the bizarre sexual behavior. That's the end of that. They still work there. Me and our work staff, we're all consenting adults. We like to go to jacuzzis, drink Mai Tais, and bang each other out. Off company time. Are we not talking about the pit in the office? Makes you think the guys making the rules are just like, we're not going to take away that, are we? If you're talking about prison, the first thing you think of is what? Prison escape stories.
That's not what I was thinking.
Really? What were you thinking? We got to move past the sexual assault, man. I guess I'm thinking of like Alcatraz, dude. Work with me here, Nick. God damn. What about prisoners who've just simply had enough? Yeah, like they're just like, I'm tired of this. I want to go home. Some prisoners spend years waiting for the right moment to break free from their cells using complex and coordinated plans. Everyone thinks of Shawshank Redemption, dude. We get it. Crawls through, you see the paper, they look in the stupid hole, and he emerges out from the shit pipe. Whatever. We get it. Let's look at some real life stories, all right? Like our first one, an inmate who used peanut butter to trick the guards. Bet you didn't think of that, did you? You ever think about treating security guards like dogs? Might not have to dig for 7 years with a metal spoon. Maybe you can just get out some Peter Pan peanut butter, dude. In 2017, 12 prisoners escaped from an Alabama jail using only peanut butter. Okay, first off, it's Alabama. That's the first thing. They have a monkey working the key system like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Come on, Jim, you want this? Come on, get it. During meals, the prisoners were regularly served peanut butter sandwiches. To enact their plan, they had slowly been stocking up loose peanut butter in the cell for a long period of time. I'm guessing they're just taking the thing out and they're just like scraping it out and like just keeping peanut butter. But where? Like just put it in the corner. It's a huge like mound of peanut butter. Look at that. Damn. There's also got to be a guy with like a peanut allergy who's like down the block like, calm down, Jerry. We'll be out soon. He's like, let me set the stage. It was 6:30 p.m. at night. With a hefty dollop of peanut butter in one hand, one inmate was able to cover up a number on their cell so it matched the number of a door that led outside. So they're just saying that if it was like 610 and the door that led outside is 810, that they're just like, it's like, that's 810. He's like, I guess this is 810 even though the 8 is made of peanut butter. And waited until an inexperienced prison guard went searching for the exit door, mistakenly opening their cell instead. All at once, they rushed past him and headed for freedom. Are you saying that he was like, does this lead outside and he is looking into a cell? This looks weird, but I guess is where I'm supposed to, gentlemen. Using a stack of blankets they brought with them, they covered the razor wire on the fence and were able to climb over them. Some were prepared with cars to pick them up, and others simply ran on foot. While the majority of them were caught in less than an hour, 24-year-old Bradley Kilpatrick was nowhere to be found. Using helicopters, they searched everywhere they could, guaranteeing $500 to anyone who could give them useful information. Alabama, dude. Goddamn, what a fucking hellhole. I will give anybody 500, count it, $500. That's right. See, his eye, he knows. $500 to anybody who can give us some useful information. And I'll tell you, if anybody wants to pass forward that right there, the Jiffy. Come on. He was eventually captured after being spotted in Tequesta, Florida. And in a press conference, a sheriff, James Underwood, stated, quote, "Escapes happen. We've got some evil people down here, and they scheme all the time to con us and our employees out of the jail. You've got to stay on your toes. This one time we slipped up. I'm not going to make any excuses."
Some of the inmates been pretty smart on what their plan was, changing some numbers on the door with peanut butter. That may sound crazy, but these people are crazy like a fox.
I'd be like, maybe fire the guy who looked at the peanut butter sign and thought that the inside of a building led to outside of the prison. I don't know. That's just me. Or we can talk about Casey White's prison escape. Casey White, an alleged murderer, had escaped an Alabama prison. Seriously, Alabama, you guys suck. Casey White, an alleged murderer, had escaped an Alabama prison with the help of a corrections officer in 2022. The officer, Vicky White, oh dude, he silver-tongued this girl who's just like, no one really dated. I never went to prom. He's like, darling, I'll take you dancing tonight.
Are you serious? Will you really?
The officer, Vicky White, began giving Casey special treatment after she found herself developing romantic feelings for him. As her relationship developed, she began using a burner phone to contact him from home. 1,100 phone calls were discovered on record. 1,100. She's like, so I just had to call you. He's like, God damn, dude. What? Hey, Vicky. It's just good to hear your voice. You left 30 minutes ago. Vicky was incredibly well respected and had been working there for 25 years. Because she was a supervisor, she had a lot of power. So, you know, that probably was. She probably just didn't get her raise. And she's like, I'm going to get mine, dude. I'm trying to jump on the pogo stick. I'm ready to bounce, girl. She started to plan out a way for Casey to leave with her so they could live the rest of their lives together. Before enacting their escape, Vicky began purchasing an assortment of camping gear and firearms. She had sold her home, then announced her retirement with only 1 day's notice. Hey, I'm leaving. They're like, wait, what? Vicky, what? I'm gone. Their plan was to organize a, quote, mental health evaluation at a local courthouse, during which Vicky would walk him out of the jail and leave in a corrections patrol vehicle. It worked flawlessly. And soon a search began. They were tracked for a long time, constantly swapping vehicles and keeping the police off their scent. After 11 days, they finally caught them hiding out in a motel after receiving an anonymous tip. When the two of them got in the car to leave, the police engaged in a high-speed chase and rammed them into a nearby ditch. A vicious firefight broke out, in which Vicky accidentally shot herself and collapsed. Casey was outgunned and surrendered so that the police could quickly tend to the woman he now claimed was his wife. In the end, Vicky died from her injuries. God, that one got ran over quick. Casey was sent back to prison and is eligible for parole in 2081. I'm aware if he was eligible, because he definitely got time added onto his sentence because of that. Come on, Vicky. She's like, I don't know. Come on. How long you been here, girl? How much you make? Oh, hell. They can get you a raise. I got a raise for you right here, Vicky. She's like, Then she shoots herself apparently in the heart. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, he's like, just take me back, dude. She's like, it's like Bonnie and Clyde. He's like, take me back. Is it Chicken Tuesday? Take me back. No way the Vicky snuff is that good too. You know what I mean?
Look at her.
Or both of them. First off, he's got those big ass fucking monkey ears. She kind of looks like a vampire a bit. She's got that hair lip where her mouth goes up in a V.
She looks dead inside. 25
years as a prison guard. Yeah, dude, I'd be dead inside as well. Prison life is a truly fascinating thing. We got to learn about people smuggling in marijuana up their bum, people prisoners falling in love with guards falling in love with prisoners, technology bringing drugs from the skies, evolution of birds bringing contraband into Brazilian inmates. It's a fascinating time. And I'm so glad I get to live in a time where technology lets me know about every single aspect of it. I could have done without the OnlyFans thing, if I'm being honest. I don't know. Honestly, I was just like, I'd rather hear a love story like Vicky's than the old, Charlie XCX. I can't believe I got me bum rammed in the prison cell.
I thought that video was fake.
Yeah, when it was making its rounds on Twitter, I was like, this is a set or whatever. It did not feel real. And to find out it's real, it's just so stupid. What are you doing? I don't know.
Women are the biggest gooners. Have you seen them waiting outside for Luigi's court case?
Women are waiting outside for Luigi's
Huge
court case?
line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just want to see him.
Because it's like Beatlemania over a guy who murdered somebody. I guess Luigi's a good looking guy, isn't he?
And he's a hero.
Did he do it? Do we know for a fact that he did it?
Yeah. They found his manifesto.
Oh, so he was just like, yeah, I did it. Maybe we'll get Luigi banging one of the guards. If Luigi meets Darius in the clink, you better believe Luigi's getting a little pussy before he heads off to the big man upstairs. That's all I gotta say. Until next time, stay out of prison. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, Mr. Maul.
Yo, man, you know what it is.
Can I have a honey glazed sandwich on rye?
Yeah, here you go. Here goes the honey.
Honey glaze, extra honey.
Extra honey.
On rye.
On rye.
Please.
Please.
To go.
To go.
The chips and the drink.
We got it. We got it.
The day after Thanksgiving. This is our lunch.
This is the day after Thanksgiving.
I told you we don't eat trays. This is all.
No matter what, there has to be some kind of marijuana in my ass. You have to pay me, and you also have to give me a chapstick tube. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about the deadliest pranks ever. If you're watching this video, chances are you've played a prank on someone before. Maybe it was a harmless one you pulled on your friend, or maybe a senior prank at the end of high school, right? We've all done it. We're all pranksters here. Most of the time, pranks are pretty innocent. Some people, however, can take things a little too far. Not me. I once bullied and pranked my teacher for having a miscarriage. I'm joking. I thought that was going to come out funnier. That really wasn't funny at all. If you're careless, it's easy for a prank to lead to serious injury or even death. And if you're playing a prank on a stranger, you truly have no idea how they're going to react to being messed with, right? You see all these fake YouTube pranksters. You put a real scenario in there. You never know who's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu master, who has a gun. I have a gun! Today, I thought we'd talk about all the ways that pranks have led to people's untimely demise.
My favorite pranks are the kissing pranks.
Mommy makeout day.
I'm here at Venice Beach, and it's mommy makeout day.
I like pranking girls by kissing them. I like cutting off girlfriends' boyfriends' faces and pretending to be them. Who pranked you? Come here, baby, kiss me. It's like a leather skin face mask. Come here, baby, I want to kiss you in the mouth. Pranks have certainly escalated over the years, but still, even as far back as the 1900s, people have died due to what seemed like a harmless prank, like the thumbtack prank that killed a high schooler.
This is a happy video, folks.
I used to put thumbtacks under people's seats all the time. You do it on my teachers. He got really mad. My geometry teacher, he was like, "Who did this?" Like that, and I was like,
you blamed your friends?
no, never my friends. Usually a very innocent bystander. And they're like, what? No, I didn't. And you're like, that person over there, I think.
My friends used to stab each other with like long needles during wrestling matches.
Sounds painful. Do you think if you sat on a thumbtack, do you think you'd actually be able to have the needle go into your...
If you got Hank Hill ass.
You got a flat ass, boy. A popular athlete at a New York high school, 14-year-old Angelina Cernan, was subject to a prank that led to her death in 1930. A few students in her class had decided to play a prank where they placed a thumbtack on her chair. Classic. Well, I won't deny it's a classic. Maybe this is where it came from. When Cernan arrived, she sat on the tack. She reacted in pain, but refused to tell the teacher what had happened to avoid getting anyone in trouble. She's a martyr.
Yeah.
She went about her day, but later became incredibly ill to the point of having to stay home from school. Apparently, the injury from the tack had caused an infection that became lethal. What started as a small bruise grew to a cyst as she eventually contracted blood poisoning, also known as sepsis.
Do you think someone like dipped it in poo?
What if we dipped it in cow shit before we did it? Like, why? I don't know, it's right here. It's the 30s. Our school's also a pig pen. Won't she smell it? No, the whole school smells like shit. Also, I found this tack out. It's been raining for 4 weeks straight. Yeah, it's a little rusty. Dipping a rusty thumbtack in cow shit. The young teen had passed away, and the culprit had never been found. It even became national news, showing up in Time magazine, though the details were oddly brief. This is the Time magazine hard-hitting article from the 30s. Tack. In Mount Morris, New York, a joker put a tack on a chair of Angelina Cernan, who sat on the tack, squeaked, contracted blood poisoning, died.
Squeaked? Was she a mouse?
She squeaked. Sat on tack, squeaked, died. And move on to the next story. Let's talk light bulbs. Are you tired of candles? Everything's about to change. In 1949, gruesome deaths occurred after one man decided to attempt a particularly creative prank. So let's talk about the War of the Worlds recreation disaster. You may have heard of the War of the Worlds, which was a radio play based on the novel by H.G. Wells. This play, directed and narrated by Orson Welles, aired on Halloween in 1938. Orson Welles, doesn't that sound familiar? It's the guy who made Citizen Kane. It's true.
And he's a wino.
If you ever want a good, clean time, look up Orson Welles wine commercial. Show a clip.
102, take two. Ah, the French champagne.
It was an hour-long fictional news broadcast meant to simulate a Martian invasion. The narrator went through live updates detailing breaking news, from aliens using heat rays on nearby onlookers to full-on Martian invasions in major cities. While announcements were made explaining that this would be a work of fiction, people who tuned in late completely missed this. They thought that it was an actual Martian invasion that was happening nearby. Many fled their homes to escape it, and others relentlessly called the police station. And in the end, people realized it was all fake. Some claimed claimed it was incredibly cruel, while others praised Orson Welles for his innovative storytelling and dramatic skills.
I don't think he was trying to prank people, though. Also, I think some people killed themselves.
I don't think that we talked about that, but that'd be kind of crazy. Well, Orson, they're dropping like flies out there. Huh? Over the alien heat rays? Yeah, they did not like that.
That's what my English teacher said, at least. They're like, people started hearing the Martians were coming, so they pulled out the guns and shot themselves.
I've never heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Turning on your radio back then and hearing that. What? What's the magic box saying? Helga, run! I mean, fast forward to 1949, where two artists named Leonardo Paez and Eduardo Alcaraz decided to mimic this exact broadcast in Ecuador. The only difference was that Leonardo refused to announce that the work was one of fiction, despite Alcaraz begging for him to make it clear, which I love that. He's like, I'm not telling him. He's like, dude, you have to do it. Please just say it's a joke. He's like up to a mic. You hear the Martians incoming? When the broadcast played on the radio station late that night, a similar panic ensued. Actors even joined the broadcast to double down on its legitimacy, imitating known government officials. This time, police, firefighters, and military were dispatched to fight off the supposed Martian invasion. People flooded churches to confess their sins before imminent death. I mean, it was a complete show. Eventually, the authorities realized it was all fake and announced it over the radio to calm people down. However, people were enraged that they had been duped. In response, over 100 people gathered around the radio station. What started as screaming and rock throwing slowly escalated to starting fires. The building was being burned to the ground, and some people inside resorted to leaping off the roof to escape. 15 people had died in the chaos, including Leonardo's nephew and his girlfriend.
That's what happens when you cry wolf.
Did he cry wolf?
Cried alien invasion.
I'm just kidding. The guy's like impaled with like a sign or something. He's like, should have made it clear. The riot would have been shut down earlier if police and firefighters had not all been busy preparing for the potential Martian invasion. So that's, you know, he did shoot himself in the foot there. Leonardo was detained alongside several others. Paez, on the other hand, escaped Ecuador to avoid being sent to jail. One hell of a radio play. You gotta give him that one hell of a radio play.
I also like how they're just like, oh, that worked in America.
Yeah, 100%. Also, like, what, 15 years earlier or something? So just like, oh, dude, people forgot about that. We could totally do that. And there are even deadly pranks going back into the late 1800s. Let's talk about one that occurred on April Fool's Day, 1896, when a man literally scared his wife to death. You know, there's tons of videos online of usually women getting scared by their husband, and then they like, you have to hold their panty area because they're peeing. Oh, come on, stop! Let me tell you something. If I try scaring my wife, it's a fight. She gets legitimately angry.
I know, I've scared her a couple times.
Yeah, she won't talk to you. She gets very, very upset. I even have to, like, when I'm walking in a room and I know she hasn't heard me yet, I have to be like, I have to like let my presence be known. And even then she's like, ah, why would you do that? And I'm like, I'm trying to let you know I'm walking in the room, you nut.
She just did that the other day. I was leaving. I just said bye. She went,
yeah. It's fucking, you could just be doing anything, walking through the house, just walking. Why would you do that? I'm in a building. I'm walking through the house. So I have to like literally like look around and see her. I have to like let her know.
I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to find.
She's like, what is that? Oh, hey. I'm like, okay, I can enter the room now.
Got a double-edged sword though, because the cooing could freak her out.
That's the thing, is there's no correct way to do it. In Nashville, a farmer named John Aarons decided to play a prank on his new wife of several months. The plan was to dress up as a tramp, which was a phrase used to describe a homeless person back in the day.
Lady in the Tramp.
Lady in the Tramp. I also thought it was a whore.
Yeah, tramp stamp.
That's how they mark the homeless. Yeah. We're gonna put this right above your buttocks. Tramp. There it is. He got in his disguise, complete with a white mask, and knocked on the door for the big surprise. She answered the door, and John loudly ordered her to make him dinner as a joke. Make me dinner! His wife was so horrified by what seemed like an aggressive stranger that she fainted and fell to the floor. She died an hour later, and it had filled him with so much grief that he later threatened to take his own life. I like how it's like he threatened it. He's like, I'm gonna do it. We're like, no, you're not. And he's like, okay. I'll be honest though. That's, you know, she's got a little pigeon heart. Make me dinner! It's just a joke, honey. That's her realizing it for a second. And then just dying. If it wouldn't have been that, it probably would have been something else, right?
I was picturing she got scared, smacked her head, and then she bled out.
Well, that's what I thought, dude. No, it's just she literally got frightened. She was like, oh, I bet slowly moved to the ground and then curled up in a ball and just seized.
How long do you think he like took to respond? Because this is the 1800s.
I think if it was 1800s, I think while she's falling, he's like, ah! All the way down to the ground. She's like curled up in a ball like, he's like, just get up. I'm actually hungry. You've actually pissed me off now. Get up. Because I would assume if he was just like, make me dinner. She's like, oh. He's like, oh, I'm just joking. Oh, I think that he was at full edit. He's like, ah! He's like dancing and shit. I'm a psycho. I'm going to eat your soul. It was unrelenting. And that's what he doesn't tell other people. She's like, really? Just because you scared her? He's like, yeah. I don't know what happened. That is weird.
Do you think after this he pulled another prank in his life, or was he like, I'm done with pranks?
I think he's like, I'm done with pranks, but I bet you he's the kind of guy he has been tempted. He like walks into a house and it's like no one heard him yet, and he like sees the person washing dishes. He pulls out the mask for a second. I've grown. This is a 1900s man growing as a person.
Today's video is sponsored by our partners at Factor. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring the video. Now back to the video.
But as you can see, some people are simply not capable of handling pranks. But not just because they may pass out from fear, some react with full-on rage, like this next story. A chair prank that led to a brutal murder. Like chair pranks? I hate when people sit in my seats.
I hate when people pull your seat out.
Oh, when you sit down and then, yeah, you pull your prank, and then I don't know why, but every person's gut, like, visceral reaction is just to turn and laugh. And you're like, okay. Dude, you tried to sit and you fell your asses on the ground now. Idiot! Like, cool prank. Whatever. I'm just like digging up some real shit from my past. In a Pennsylvania meat processing facility, Danny Vasquez thought it would be funny to play a prank on his coworker, Peter Jock Adam. When Adam was sitting down in his chair, Vasquez yanked his chair out from under him. Adam collapsed to the floor, but did not find it amusing. Oh, gotcha. And he just turns around like, it's just a prank, man. Who's laughing? No one else is here laughing. Adam reacted by simply saying, I'm going to get you for that. And walking away. I'll tell you right now, that's when I'd be like, I'll try to sit down and then you pull it from what will be even Stevens. Yank my chair. Adam! But the next day, Adam confronted Vasquez and began wrestling him to the ground and choking him. Workers had heard screaming, and when they approached the source of the noise, they saw Adam stabbing Vasquez multiple times. After desperately trying to crawl away, he passed out, and he later died in the hospital. Adam was hiding out in a shed when police found him. I love that. Adam? Probably sit on a chair in there. Try pulling my chair from me. Adam was hiding in a shed when the police found him, covered in self-inflicted stab wounds. He was rushed to a hospital for surgery, and police officers reported seeing a knife and a handwritten note near the shed that read, see you in hell, life for life. This is a creepypasta premise, okay? That just solidified every creepypasta story I read where it's like some guy just being like, yeah, I'm a little crazy. But it's just because the voices in my head talk to me. That kind of thing. Some motherfucker just over a prank. Let me ask you this, Nick. Was his reaction justified?
Was everybody around him pointing and laughing?
Exactly. Are we getting history here? Because see, at this point, it makes it seem like it's not a big deal. But if you have 10 people in a room pointing and laughing, that could mentally break a man. He's already having a bad day. He woke up, coffee spilled on his shirt, goes in. People are like, oh, diarrhea chest. He's like, it's coffee. And all of a sudden, now the guy, and it's like, that's just the straw that broke the camel's back, baby. I also like how I'll get you back. He's just being like, tomorrow, I'm going to wrestle you to the ground and stab you to death. It's not even like another prank. At first I thought it was like, oh, his counter prank is going to be the thing. He puts like a Chinese finger trap on him and the guy like is freaking out and like falls into a vat of acid or something. I don't know where though. Yeah, at the meat plant. But not every prank is serious enough that it should lead to straight up physical violence. This next prank, however, was not quite as harmless. Let's talk about the compressed air prank.
Actually, I've read that. Yeah, you could die by blowing compressed air on your skin.
Really? Like if you're like,
I saw a video where it's like cool hair hack, and it's a guy who like makes like a coif with his hair, and all the comments are like, do not do that.
Dude, you could have died. The guy's like, huh? It's like Anton's in the deal. Don't put that coin away. That's your lucky coin. It's like the Grim Reaper was here. You could have died. At a plywood factory in India, a 40-year-old man named Ravender had previously been subject to ridicule from his coworkers due to him wearing tattered clothing.
Calling him poor.
All the homies in the plywood factory just being like, you know, hey, affliction called. They want their shirt back. And it's like, oh, it's buckled. I thought it was cool. One of the people bullying him was Anjan Mishra, who only got the job because Ravender recommended him in the first place. That's a little backstabby, okay? I hope Anjan dies, dude. Regardless, he decided to play a prank that involved sticking an air compressor into Ravender's butt as he bent down to pick up a block of wood. This is the worst LinkedIn recommendation you could ever give a guy. He's like, no, Anjan is really cool. A hard worker. Thanks, Ravender. This air jet is extremely powerful, used mainly for slicing through large blocks of wood. What? Good God! When he stuck it inside Ravender, there was a brief laughter until he suddenly fell to the floor face first. The force of the air ripped his insides to shreds, leading to severe organ damage and hemorrhaging, and he died trying to receive treatment. Misra was arrested after the authorities reviewed CCTV footage of the incident. That is crazy. Also, my God! The air thing looks like a gas pump! Ravender's bum is loose. It's easy to stick inside Ravender's bum. It's like, what the fuck are you on, Misra? That is crazy.
Do you think he stuck it all the way up to the bent part? Oh, thanks for the job, Ravender.
Thanks for the job recommended Upwork. Are we saying that my boy Ravender laughed? Or are we saying that the group? I think the group laughed and then he just fell down. There's no way an unsuspected anal plunging leads you to being like inside and you're just like, no way. I think if anything it was, and he just fell down. Are you under the impression that Ravender laughed?
I like to believe Ravender had a bit of joy before his untimely demise. Oh, you are so funny, Mishra.
He's a fucking bully who's like also like, hey, I heard your factory's hiring. He's like, not really. You gonna get me in with your piece of clothing? Okay, I'll see what I can do. Whatever. This is the kind of thing where I wish my boy Anjan here gets a funnel up his ass every day and they pull a Tutankhamun on him and scramble his brains with it. This isn't the first case of workplace bullying that led to a brutal death. Gareth McFadden, a 24-year-old sales trader, had attended a staff Christmas party. The party was Hawaiian themed. Hey, maka is a thing to say. So Gareth arrived with a fancy outfit, including a large synthetic grass skirt. The guy was stoked on the Hawaiian theme. Can you blame him? Who doesn't like wearing some Hawaiian button-ups, a little glass skirt, drinking some Mai Tais? Matthew Schofield, one of his co-workers, decided to play a cruel prank while he was in the bathroom. He reached under the bathroom stall, using a lighter to light the synthetic grass skirt on fire. That's a fun prank. Schofield was proud enough of his actions that he even announced what he had done when he returned to the partygoers. Perhaps he thought that Gareth would quickly brush it off and that it would be the end of it. But in reality, this resulted in a horrific string of events. Garrett's costume was fully lit ablaze. He was screaming until he exited the bathroom, where his head was described as glowing like a cigarette. My boy Joe Camel coming back. Calm down, Gareth. You're ruining the vibe. He had to be rushed to the hospital, and it was discovered that 90% of his body was covered in serious burns, and Gareth died in the hospital 3 days later. I bet you anything Gareth recommended that dude too. I feel like this is the unfortunate cruel reality of these things. I bet you it was another recommend. Angela Offwood, another co-worker, was also seriously injured when the fire had spread to her costume as well. And according to her husband, she had to undergo 6 plastic surgeries on top of getting 800 staples in order to secure skin grafts. For this prank, Schofield was found guilty of manslaughter and was jailed for 2 years for the death of Gareth and an additional 9 months for the injured Offwood, on top of being forced to pay $37,000 to both of the victims' families. What was her costume? I'm a cloud. All cotton. Why was it so dry? When you're a rebellious kid, it's easy to get caught up in a few pranks. Maybe you toilet paper someone's house or burrito someone's backpack. What? What the f does that mean? I've never heard of burritoing a backpack. Well, for some children, this leads to serious repercussions, like the egging prank that ended in a fatal car crash. In Houston, a 14-year-old boy and his 2 friends were throwing eggs at passing cars. These are what we like to call little pieces of shit. Okay? Toilet paper, harmless fun, I'll say it. Getting TP'd, it's an annoying yes. The rain will wash away the sins. That's what happens, right? Kids who egg, those are kids who parents don't love them.
What about rocks?
Same thing, Nick. Rock's okay. There's no yolk in a rock. One of the drivers, who was pelted by them, rolled down his window and flashed a semi-automatic handgun at them in response. You know what? He's throwing eggs. He flashes a piece. That's only fair. The children got scared, jumping into a GMC Arcadia and speeding down the street as he chased them down the road. Okay, just want to reiterate. They're 14. And yet they have access to a GMC Arcadia. Okay. Scared of being caught, the 14-year-old ignored the traffic signals and moved at high speeds until eventually slamming into the back of a pickup truck. The crash was so intense that the 45-year-old woman driving the vehicle had died before paramedics could arrive. The young man at the wheel was later arrested on murder charges. Like, can you imagine that? High speed GMC Arcadia slams in the back of you at like even, I don't know, 50 miles, 60 miles an hour, and you didn't expect it. Oh, dude, you'd be f***ed. This isn't the first time that prank had led to the death of kids this young. In a similar story, 3 teenagers died after ding-dong ditching. I swear to God, one day that positive video is gonna come. And dude, I'm telling you, ding-dong ditching pisses people off. I ding-dong ditched this one guy one time, and he like literally chased me and my friends back. I mean, I'm like an obese kid, so it's not like he was, you know, this guy's an athlete. People get pissed.
Was he stalking you slowly?
No, I was ding-dong ditch, boom, and he like immediately opened the door, and I was like, I made eye contact. I started running. And he's like, get back here! Which at that point, too, it was kind of weird to just be like, would you have just had this reaction if I was just like, hello, nice to meet you? I think it was because I was like, oh, and I ran off. I'm like, that seems like an odd reaction to be like, you son of a bitch! Which maybe I'm forgetting that maybe we were doing it a lot. I can't remember. I don't know. There's probably a part of leaving out where it's like, oh yeah, we did that 9 times at 2 a.m. on a Monday. In Riverside, California, a group of 6 teenagers were hanging out and being rebellious. One boy was dared to choose between ding-dong ditching someone's house or jumping in someone's pool at night. And by God, the boy decided to ding-dong ditch. He approached the house of a 45-year-old man named Chandra, rang the doorbell, and exposed his butt to him as he opened the door. Okay, well, see, that he's adding a little, that's a little cherry on top. That'll send you over the edge, dude. Way to light the wick. The kids ran off, leaving Chandra infuriated. Instead of leaving the kids alone, who were just having a bit of mean-spirited fun, he decided to get in his car and chase after them. It was noted in his later testimony that he had consumed 12 beers before the incident took place. Oh, dude, I am in this man's shoes 100%. 12 beers in, you know, he's like listening to some like music, you know, he's in the groove, and he's like, what the f is this? He sped down the road going 99 miles an hour in order to catch up to them. Jesus. And when he did, he rear-ended them. And the driver ended up losing control and swerving off the road, slamming into a tree as Chandra drove off. The crash ended up taking the lives of the 3 16-year-old teenagers in the car. My God. During the trial, Chandra claimed that the prank had made him fearful for the safety of his family, which emboldened him to go after them. All evidence, however, pointed to this prank being fairly harmless. Chandra had already faced criminal charges relating to alleged domestic abuse and now faces life in prison without parole. I love the idea of being like, they scared me and my family. I was afraid that we were gonna die. So you chased, they were leaving and you chased after them. I had to snuff out the source. I was kind of on the side with the 12 beers thing. Now I'm kind of like, you're not as pog as I thought, dude.
Yeah, he sounds like a monster.
This guy does sound like he's a bit of a monster, if I'm being honest. As you can imagine, the birth of YouTube pranksters has caused a whole slew of injuries and deaths to occur. Like the YouTube robbery prank gone wrong. 20-year-old Timothy Wilkes, a YouTube prankster, was trying to make a prank video with his friend. The idea involved scaring random strangers by simulating a robbery. The 2 of them waited outside of a family trampoline park until they found their victims. They approached the group wielding large butcher knives. What they didn't expect was one of the strangers, David Starnes Jr., was armed, and he immediately acted in self-defense by shooting Wilkes. That's gonna happen. Okay, he died on the scene and an investigation began. It seemed that Starnes has not been charged for the shooting. I mean, why would you be? If a person's coming up to you with a knife, you don't know it's a prank. Well, that's the fucked up thing about YouTube pranksters is that they like give people the idea that like if you do this, nothing bad's gonna happen. You know, we might get punched. It's like, no, dude, people are gonna like kill you.
What happened to that one in the mall? Some guy was like harassing people at a food court, and a guy just pulled out a gun and shot him.
That was kind of recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a couple years ago.
In one of the more unique instances of pranks gone wrong, we have the man who died pretending to be Bigfoot. That's a way to go, dude. A 44-year-old man from Montana named Randy Lee Tenley. Yeah, Randy Lee Tenley had the goal of impersonating Bigfoot to convince people he was real. Montana Highway Patrol told reporters that, quote, he had the ghillie suit and was going to attempt to get the attention of passing motorists, and though I don't know what it means, make them feel like they saw Bigfoot or Sasquatch. In his disguise, he walked onto the highway, and after a very short while, a 15-year-old girl had hit Randy with her car. He collapsed to the ground, and another ran him over, killing him. God, add insult to injury immediately. Good Lord. After interviewing the man's friends, it seemed possible that Randy was intoxicated when he made this decision. Yeah, dude, if a guy is like, I'm gonna be Bigfoot, he's probably drunk walking around the forest. In the end, no calls were made to the authorities in the area relating to any Bigfoot sightings. The prank didn't even work, Nick.
Do you think she like swerved into him on purpose?
No. I bet if anything, it was somebody texting or something stupid where he's like, and then boom, rolls over. He's like, and then boom again. Just something like back to back like that, you know? Now let's talk about a man who found himself in a deadly situation playing golf. More specifically, at Top Golf. Top Golf is an entertainment center that features high-tech golfing experience. People can play with a big group of friends while they enjoy foods and drinks. It's cringe. It's a cringe time. I've done it before. I'll probably do it again. Just let you know, cringe. What can I say? For one man, this delightful center became an early grave. In the UK, Connor Groom and his best friend were at Top Golf during a Christmas party. The two of them had been drinking heavily. I just want to put a thing out there right now. If anybody's going to any Christmas parties this year, ease up on the pranks, all right? Too many of these have been Christmas-related pranks. Jesus Christ. At one point, Connor's friend drunkenly decided it'd be a funny prank to push him off the side of the course, and the two of them began jokingly trying to shove each other off. They probably thought that too because on the top of the Top Golf thing, there's usually a net. So I'm going to push him off into the net. Ooh, it's going to be so weird. After a while, they were asked by staff to quit messing around, but they kept at it. That is, until Connor ended up falling down. He hit the safety net, but rolled off of it and slammed his body onto the driving range 12 feet below. He suffered a traumatic cervical spinal cord injury as well as a brain injury. He was rushed to the hospital where he stayed for the following month until he eventually succumbed to his injuries. It was deemed a death by misadventure. The UK Coroner's Guide defines this as a death from, quote, some deliberate human act which unexpectedly and unintentionally goes wrong.
Sounds like attempted murder in my book.
I think if a couple boys are palling around, they're both drunk, and the guy was doing it too, guess what? You do a little Mario banana slip. Whoop! You fall off. It's nobody's fault but your own, dude. You know what I mean? Pranks, no matter how fun they may be, can go wrong very quickly. It only takes one small misstep to land in serious danger, friends. So if you're gonna pull pranks, don't be stupid. Don't throw eggs at strangers because for all you know, they're strapped to the gills and 12 beers deep. You don't know what they might do. Keep it light and keep it safe because you don't want to be known as the guy who died doing something stupid. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. Just don't prank anybody. Or if you're gonna prank somebody, fart in someone's face while they're sleeping and give them pink eye. My buddy did that to one of our friends. It was really fucked up.
What's the worst prank you've ever done to someone?
I think if I'm being honest, probably poo dollar. I did it outside my friend's house, and it was supposed to be his friend, but his dad picked it up instead, and I couldn't go back to his house anymore. I'm pretty sure I haven't yelled. I was like, Jim, no! He picked it up. Oh. I think the poo dollar's okay if you know the person. Not really. I think it's stupid. Don't do it. That's disgusting. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't be stupid. No pranks. Yeah, I'm a little crazy, but it's just because the voices in my head talk to me. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, come on and sit on down! Today we're gonna be talking about some of the biggest frauds in history. Do you think I'm talking about Enron? I could be. What about that one guy on Wall Street that was like a giant pyramid scheme where he was like money laundering or something? His name Monk? Nope. That's the show about the germaphobe detective. That's a good show. So is House. Nope. I'm talking about two of the people that I hate more than anyone else in the entire world, the Warrens.
In the name of Jesus Christ.
Listen, the Conjuring franchise is one of the largest horror universes ever in cinema history. It is the most profitable, I can't believe that too, by the way. The Conjuring is the most profitable horror franchise of all time, spanning 11 movies and generating billions of dollars, okay? Annabelle. Take my money. I mean, like, what? One of the main reasons for this is that most of the movies are allegedly based on true stories that the Warren family have experienced, right? It's spooky because it's real. These are recountings. These are basically documentaries, Nick. Basically, the Conjuring movie. Go and show a scene from the Conjuring. That happened. Remember this scene? That was real. Remember the Annabelle doll? That's real. Those who have watched all the films know how insane some of their hauntings can get. And over the years, the depiction of such tales has led many to question whether the Warrens truly live this chaotic life or if it's all smoke and mirrors, right? Yeah! After years of digging, many skeptics have delved deep into these stories to prove that everything the Warrens did was either fake or done for profit.
What?
Which one of my favorite? Yeah, well, I know. It's odd. Profiting off the skepticism and the religious beliefs of people? No. No! And watching people defend the Warrens is really funny. Well, you know, like, it's always a thing of just like, they were mavericks. You just don't understand. You don't understand Ed Warren. I think he's like the frog man or some shit. It's a cryptid motherfucker. So, today, we're gonna go over the most popular cases and see what truly went down with the Warrens. Kick it! Is that going? It's kind of like Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
No.
I command you in the name of Jesus Christ to reveal your identity. Good.
But before we dig too deep into the skeptic rabbit hole, we need to learn about how the Warrens began their ghost hunting career. Ed and Lorraine Warren met in 1944 at the age of 16. Ed was 46 and Lorraine was 12. No, they're both 16. You have to give Ed a little credit there. How many times have you heard that about a popular guy? In the 40s? You'd expect, I would legitimately thought Ed was like, I'm 48 and she's 11.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Exactly. She's a psychic.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna just pick her up and I mean, that's just what happened. All right. Lorraine was a full believer in the supernatural and had supposedly possessed clairvoyant powers since she was young. I'm gonna just repeat that one more time. She's had clairvoyant powers since she was young, while Ed was a skeptical, self-proclaimed demonologist. Perfect pair.
Yeah.
Also, I love the idea of a skeptic demonologist. I don't believe in this, but I put all my thought and energy into it. I think all this shit is like wacky, kooky, but seriously, that's my entire life's work.
But that's how you get people to believe you. Because
That's, you have to have the skeptic there. I doubt it's that, right? And she's like, trying to talk to the dead or something.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like X-Files. Do you think they're based, Scully and Mueller are based on?
I think it kind of a little bit of everybody's based off of Ed and Lorraine. I think they are that infamous. You have to have the skeptic with the believer. Because the people who watch this shit believe. The thing that people like is watching the skeptic get turned. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? Ed and Lorraine, smart about it. Smart. Horrible liars. Smart people, though. After getting married, Ed would attend Yale's art school, hoping to start a career he had dropped out only 2 years later. Wondering what to do next, the couple decided to combine their interest, and shortly after Ed dropped out, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research and began ghost hunting. I like how we kind of presented that like, if you become a failed painter, you just become a ghost hunter. According to their foundation, the Warrens spent their lives investigating more than 10,000 cases of the paranormal. As staggering as that number is, it's easy to see how they amassed this many cases given their unique methods. The Warrens would travel around to places rumored to be haunted and park outside the home, and from there, Ed would begin painting the home and make sure to include a ghost or specter somewhere in the painting. So bulletproof, dude. That's weird. Did anyone else notice this? Man, this house, there's a total spooky ghost right there. The most shitty painted ghost. Holy sh! My house is haunted. This episode's sponsored by Display. Thank you, Display, for sponsoring our video, and back to the video.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like proof of like, I saw it, so I painted it.
I bet he was fucking bummed when like cameras became more and more readily available. He's like, damn it. It's the fucking painting business, I guess, with the spooky ghost paintings. All right. But then they would approach the homeowner, show them the painting, and tell them that their house has a dark spirit, while Lorraine used her gift to give specific details. So he'd be like, yeah, there's a ghost here. Lorraine told him. She's like, yeah, he's spooky, he's tall. I like to, it's insane to think in the 40s too, people were just like, oh my God, please come in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, letting them in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Because also, too, I feel like people back then, just more honest. You'd have to assume. I mean, this is a dark time, too. I'm just saying that people are probably just more, what was it, gullible? You think people were more gullible back then?
Gullible and, like, inviting.
Also, probably way more deeply religious.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you said what?
You have a ghost in my house?
Yeah.
Come right in.
Yeah, fridges are new. And they don't understand that fridges pipes move. They're like, I've been hearing tapping, and I don't know what it is. I bet you even the fridge manufacturers were like, it's a ghost. I don't know what to tell you. The fridge is fine. Their whole shtick was essentially fear-mongering fear-mongering people into believing their situation was worse than it actually was. And furthermore, it provided Ed with an easy way to make a career in painting without relying on any actual artistic talent. Just kind of be like, you have to, not only we rid this ghost, but you have to buy this painting and hang in your house. You have to love it forever. All right. I kind of want an Ed Warren original now.
Ooh.
That'd be kind of nice. Would it be haunted though?
Of course.
If hell is real, there has to be a demon attached to every Ed Warren original.
Do you think Ed's in hell?
Honestly, probably not.
I was gonna say, if hell is real and ghosts are real, he's probably in heaven.
I guess that's true, because then everything is noble. Yeah, I guess like I was still treating him like a con man. He's like, it's real. He's in hell. You know, like burning in hell forever. Once inside the home, Ed would document everything while Lorraine walked around the home finding hot spots and identifying spirits. Her preferred method was to sit on the edge of the afflicted person's bed and close her eyes. She believed that this specific place was the best place to contact the other side because it's where humans go from being awake to asleep.
Oh, it's a gateway.
It's a gateway into the dream world. Pretty good. To achieve 10,000 cases over their career, they tackled 2 cases a day. Many of these cases were from disturbed individuals who called the Warrens seeking help. While it would be a stretch to claim that the Warrens never helped anyone they reached out to, many of their significant cases began to appear much more sketchy. So I'm not saying that, you know, I legitimately do think that the Warrens went in and they'd be like, no, this is just like a weird draft or whatever. But hey, pay me, whatever. But I feel like for some bigger cases, I think that they saw the money rolling where they're like, dude, we could milk these bitches for a long time.
That's just the smartest thing. They're just like, they know it's like, there's not going to be ghosts at everyone's place. You have to like be like, yeah, it's a draft or it's the kitchen.
If they found ghosts at every house, people would be like, really? Word? Every one of them?
They also probably knew exactly like what makes a good story. They're just like,
oh,
creaking hallway. We'll just get our, fee for coming and checking it out and move on.
But yeah, schizophrenic young girl, an alcoholic father. Some girl's like, Dad drinks. Are you sure it's not a demon? I feel like they were f***ed up like that. I'm telling you.
He's an artist. He's making his masterpiece.
Exactly. You see, the paint is just is on the surface, but the real painting is people's psyches. I paint their nightmares, and I steal from them. I mostly steal from them.
If you did do this kind of con, on your deathbed, would you reveal like, hey, it was a con? Or would you just let
I
it
would
die?
only say that to myself.
Okay.
Privately, but I would say it out loud to kind of have that little bit of satisfaction. But I would never. I can immediately tell you, as soon as I put myself in that situation, I would never, because they were so showboaty about it. I don't think that they could like die knowing that like their name was smeared.
Yeah. They want to have a legacy.
Exactly. Exactly. For a while, the Warrens were doing small jobs, but it wasn't until the early 70s when they would get their big break with The Curse of Annabelle. So the biggest curse of that is that all the Annabelle movies, that's what I'm telling you. Being subjected to that dumb for that long, that's the real curse, all right? In 1970, a nurse named Donna received a Raggedy Ann doll from her mother as a birthday gift. Things seemed normal with Donna and her roommate until a few weeks after the doll was brought home when strange things began to occur. At first, the doll would be found in various different positions. This would then escalate to the doll moving to a different room on its own. And after a month of this weird behavior, the girl started to find random handwritten notes with the words, "Help us," or "Help Lou," around their apartment. Ooh. Not long after the notes appeared, their friend Lou was woken up by the doll, attempting to strangle him. A Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah. When he threw the doll off, he was struck by intense chest pain and discovered deep claw marks left behind. Feeling trapped, they hired a medium who told them the doll was possessed by a young girl named Annabelle. Feeling bad for her, they let the demon stay.
Oh, a demon? No.
They let the demon stay? What do you mean? Yeah, so the doll's actually possessed by a little girl named Annabelle. Oh, I feel bad for her. All right, demon, you can stay. Are they under the impression that Annabelle is a demon? Or are they saying that the fucking demon that Annabelle hangs out with is there? This is my friend. Fucking... Feel free to stick around, bud. If it was a little girl spirit, I'd be like, oh, I feel horrible. Of course you can stay. But demon. It's just such a jump. And things only got worse and worse. Yeah, causing the local priest, Father Cook, to contact the Warrens, and after inspecting the doll, they said it was not possessed, but in fact manipulated by an inhumane force. So what I think actually happened is, she's like, oh my god, I feel bad for you, little girl, you can stay. Of course, you know, like the demon takes off its wig and its little dress, and it's like, I'm actually a fucking demon. I think is what happened.
Yes.
After their investigation, Father Cook performed an exorcism, and the Warrens took the doll home. The Warrens claimed the doll caused them to swerve and almost crash during the trip. Couldn't be Ed's alcoholism. That's actually so great to think Ed's like trash. Can you believe little doll just almost made me wreck? Lorraine's just like blacked out in the next seat over.
Yeah, in the spirit realm.
Yeah, exactly. Eyes rolling back of her head. Better have a couple before she gets back. They also alleged it once levitated in their house. After being locked away, it allegedly caused the death of a man who mocked it by crashing his motorcycle. This thing looks fucking stupid. Once again, after a couple Ed Warren Mai Tais, no wonder. Yeah, your friend drive home. Ed, I feel sore. Get the hell out of here.
I like to imagine he rolled up on the bike and made fun of it and he crashed.
Hey, that doll's stupid as hell. Explodes. It is also thought to have killed the director of the Devils on the Run tour, which showcased the Warrens' artifacts nationwide. It all seems like alcoholism.
Yeah, at this time, yeah, it's just drunk driving.
It's 100% drunk driving. Gin doesn't get you drunk. It's clear. It's like water. I can't believe Annabelle killed that poor man. So, is the doll really possessed, or was it all a big hoax?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we have to do that. I wonder where we're going with this. As soon as the doll was in their possession, the Warrens immediately monetized what was supposed to be a super dangerous demonic item. It was displayed in their museum and became a major draw for visitors who would pay to see it. Not only that, but they turned the doll into a media sensation. So far, it has appeared in 11 different movies, including nearly every Conjuring universe film. And it has cameos in DC's Aquaman and Shazam. Warner Brothers also had to pay the Warrens for the rights to their story about Annabelle to use her in the films, okay? Cash cow. You don't even want to look at this thing. We will let you put her in every film that you possibly want.
Also, it's funny because it is a Raggedy Ann doll.
It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
But in the movies, they make it like a weird, creepy.
Well, yeah, because it's not scary. It doesn't actually, like, look at the normal doll and then look at the Annabelle movie doll. The Annabelle movie doll looks like a fucking, like, not even a dwarf or like a little person. It looks like they shrunk a woman down that has been dead for like 7 weeks. And like in the movie, she's just like, oh, this is the one I've been missing. And she's like significantly larger than the rest of the pieces. Okay, for the Devils on the Run tour, the advertisers intentionally spread misleading rumors that the doll had gone missing to generate more buzz and boost ticket sales. Perhaps the most damning piece of evidence is that the Warren story is nearly identical to a Twilight Zone episode released a few years earlier. In 1963, titled Living Doll, the plot follows a mother named Annabelle who gives her a doll named Talking Tina, which hates her stepdad. The doll would say that it was going to kill them and it would disappear and reappear at random. And the Warren story is almost identical down to the finest details of the Twilight Zone episode. Rod Sterling, my hat's off to you. Twilight Zone, one of the best shows of all time. I'll say it. I'll be so brave. Can I be so brave?
You may.
Thank you. Now the doll and all of the artifacts are still on tour, and comedian Matt Rife recently purchased the museum with plans to continue operating it. Matt Rife. The Annabelle doll from the movies kind of looks like Matt Rife.
I'm surprised Zach Baggins didn't buy it.
I bet you anything Zach Baggins wanted to buy it, but he couldn't. He already had the Dibbit box, so that about broke me. He has his own doll. He has his own spooky doll.
The one that gave me a bloody nose.
That's true. Nick did get a bloody nose in there. Be looking at the monitors. They show people passing out in the rooms and stuff. There might be one with Nick having a bloody nose, I'm telling you. With the success of the Annabelle story, it wasn't long before the Warrens found another prolific haunt. This time, they targeted the Perrons. This haunt is the plot of the first Conjuring movie and is almost identical to the Warrens' own account. In January of 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perron moved their family of 7 into a farmhouse built in colonial times and lived in by the same family for 8 generations. Long time. Old house, big house, they're spooky, right? Only one family's ever lived here over 8 generations. That's fucking insane.
Wow. Yeah.
It's crazy. According to the Warrens, the previous owners all died off in mysterious ways, from drowning to brutal murder. That is mysterious, Ed. Right after moving in, the family saw apparitions and smelled random odors in the home. Carolyn and her 5 daughters also began to find unexplained bruises on their bodies. Please.
Oh, yeah, the dad.
Yeah, the dad beat the shit out of him. He's like, if you tell anybody, I'll fucking kill you. I don't know how it happened. It was definitely that. It's 1971. What do you think the authorities are gonna do? Can we talk to you? No, they're gonna be like, okie dokie. That's all that happened. Just like in the movie, the dog is found murdered outside and things get thrown around at the home. Sometime in the mid-70s, the Warrens show up and proclaim the house to be possessed by a witch named Bathsheba. Bathsheba. Bethesda, who had previously lived on the property and murdered her own children. They would spend years coming and going from the home, trying to help the family vanquish the demon that lurked inside. It all came to an end when Bethesda possessed Carolyn, and Lorraine had to conduct a seance on her. During the ritual, Carolyn's daughters reported the chair floated in the air, and the mother screamed in tongues. And after the demon was banished, the family lived in the home until 1980, when they moved out due to financial difficulties. For years, many were shocked by what was believed to be a true story. Andrea Perrin, the youngest daughter, was none too pleased. She completely dismantled all the Warrens' legitimacy through multiple interviews. According to Andrea, the Warrens just showed up out of nowhere and started investigating after hearing a rumor that the house might be haunted. I like to think they woke up one morning, the dad was like, Ed's like down there cooking bacon. You're up. Imagine this man waiting for you in your kitchen cooking bacon. Hey, early bird gets the worm, huh? She distinctly remembered that all of the insane ghost activity only started when the Warrens showed up and declared Bathsheba to be haunting at the home.
So they were beating the kids. Yeah.
It kind of almost makes it seem like, yeah, Ed would just come up and pinch us really hard at night. How'd you get that bruise? Probably because you're fucking pinching us with your big ape hands. No, that's Bethesda. She also remembered the night of the seance going completely differently. According to Andrea, the Warrens couldn't even fully conduct the seance because her father, a massive skeptic, disliked what they were doing to his wife. So he kicked the couple out and told them to never come back, fearing that their work was damaging to his wife's mental health. Fair.
So it sounds like they...
Aren't you scared right now? Here, Lorraine, grab this rope and tie it around her neck. Yeah, you guys need to leave. Okay. You know, like, what?
So it does sound like they came in and caused like mass hysteria in the wife.
They probably freaked everyone the f out. I mean, imagine someone coming out of nowhere and being like, yeah, you realize that a witch killed a bunch of people here, right? And that's why do you not hear that? They're probably gaslighting them too, I bet. Oh my God, did you guys hear that? No. Oh, it happened again. That would, if I was a kid, I'd be freaked the f out. That. Once the Warrens were gone, they lived there without any issue and eventually moved out. For obvious reasons, these details didn't quite make it in the film. Yeah, show a clip from the movie. That didn't happen. I know it's obvious, but you just have to say it out there. And I know that there's gonna be people in this video, in this comment section, that are gonna be like, how do you know? What if it was like that? What if the dad was upset? What if he was possessed while he was talking about this? I'm just going on a hunch.
I think maybe they could have brought the demon in. Or,
they'd been around a haunted doll for 10 years. Maybe they did bring a demon in. I don't know. Lorraine Warren was also involved in the production, likely to make sure that her version of the events was depicted.
Gotta make them look good.
It's insane, too. Do you have to be beautiful to be in Hollywood movies?
Nowadays... Well,
because Patrick Wilson, and I forgot who the actor is who plays Lorraine. I mean, my God, significantly better looking. Could you just not have like two fucking... That's the thing, that's what I liked about Poltergeist. The little girl is like,
this house is clean.
This house is clean.
She was awesome. And it fit the movie. Patrick Wilson come and be like, I don't know, Lorraine's pregnant and she's all weird. And Lorraine's like sitting there like looking at like a ghost hanging. She's like, Ed, this is weird. You know, she's like perfect skin. Come on. I don't believe it.
I don't buy it.
I think Ed like would walk up and be like, nice to meet you, Ed. Yeah, this shit's haunted. You want to help or no? We're coming in. Today, the home is a tourist location where guests can visit, and the current owner hasn't experienced anything the parents experienced on their story. No. It's because it's clean. This house is clean.
Well, yeah,
they purged it.
Yeah.
Come on. A few years later, the Warrens would be thrust again into the media because of the Amityville case. We've covered the story behind this home before in one of our previous videos. And in short, a man murdered his entire family in their sleep in 1973. You know, fun, casual stuff. The Lutz family moves in a year later and encounters green slime, sudden cold spots, and a mysterious voice urging them to leave. The Lutzes would move out after only 28 days of living in the home, and the Warrens wasted no time bringing the media to the home. On their first visit, the Warrens brought a bunch of local news crews to investigate and record the home. Inside, they found a ton of evidence, whereas the news found, well, they didn't find anything, but the Warrens found a lot. And shortly after the Warrens left the home, they co-wrote a best-selling book and created a movie that grossed over $86 million. No big deal. And now the Amityville horror franchise has 25 movies. It is one of the most marketed and well-known ghost stories out of all of them, right? I mean, out of all the ghost stories, I feel like everybody fucking knows that stupid-ass house with those dumb-ass windows. They look cool. I'm bummed. The end of Amityville 3D fucked me up as a kid. Show the guy popping out of the sewer.
Was that your first horror movie?
That was my first one. That's why I bought the poster. That was the first horror movie I ever saw. Me up. Terrible movie, by the way. I will say the end part when the house is like collapsing, there's no way that could have been safe for the actors. That ain't CG. That's real. Like, yeah, I don't know. All of the mystery of the Amityville horror house would crumble after the Lutz family ran into money problems with their lawyer. Uh-oh. And they started talking, didn't they? Their lawyer publicly stated numerous times that the whole story was made up over a bottle of wine and claimed that they intended to make as much money off the IP as possible. It worked. It worked. And by now, it should be obvious that every major investigation the Warrens do is somehow turned into a super profitable story. Isn't that weird, right? But this trend would only continue to get worse with the Enfield poltergeist. The Enfield poltergeist, whatever the f you want to say it, I don't know. The possession responsible for The Conjuring 2 is maybe the most debunked case the Warrens have ever covered, which I love. That's the sequel. It's like that one's like, oh, this is a good one. They're like, yeah, the story that has been debunked the most, we'll make that the sequel. It's so good. It all started at a small town in London, England, where Peggy Hodgson began hearing loud noises in her daughter's room. She would run over to find the dresser moving by itself. Ah! Terrified, she called the police and had investigators check out the home, but found nothing. This paranormal activity continued, and so did the police checkups. It wasn't until a week later that the police would watch a chair wobble and slide across the floor, and from there, the media circus would flood the home and try to capture anything it could. What drew international attention to the case, including the Warrens, was the possession of Peggy's 11-year-old daughter, Janet. Objects and toys in her room would regularly fly around and strike Janet on the head. Ooh. She even claimed that her curtains wrapped around her neck and tried to hang her. Scottish there. Hang her! It grew up around me head and it hung me. However, she is most known for her audio recordings, where a low-pitched, grumbly man named Bill Wilkins would talk through her and claim to have lived there before the family.
Is anybody there?
No.
Who's there?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
You don't want to fucking be here, eh?
Janet, why are you talking like that? The debunking of the story begins with the Warrens' visit to the Enfield home. Guy Lyon Playfair, a paranormal investigator who had spent days with the family, said that Ed and Lorraine showed up at the home for only one day. They were there for a day. And during this extremely short trip, the family claimed that they didn't invite them because they had never heard of them before. They're probably like, oh, please, you've heard of me. I've never heard of you before, mate. You got a good M.M. He then states that he overheard Ed discussing how they could make a ton of money off the case. So right off the bat, the Warrens' involvement depicted in the movie is an exaggeration. It's not even, it's nothing. The only thing that's real about it is that their names are Ed and Lorraine. Okay? Even with the Warrens barely being involved, they still took the story back to the United States and lied about a ton of the details of the case. For starters, the countless interviews of Janet talking in her low-pitched voice were debunked by professional ventriloquists as a basic trick. The photo of Janet being levitated off her own bed, which was another famous piece of evidence, has also been debunked. The photos clearly showed her legs tucked under her body, demonstrating that she simply jumped off the bed before the photo was taken. Other clues that proved the haunting was faked include hidden cameras and catching Janet bending spoons and slamming a broomstick on the ceiling. There's also the interview with both Janet and her sister Margaret, where both the girls admit that the whole thing was faked, and the interview went as follows.
How does it feel to be haunted by a poltergeist?
It's not haunted.
And Margaret, in a hushed tone, did, "Shut up."
Shut up.
Why isn't it haunted?
I don't know.
Does it frighten you, the things that happen here?
Oh.
Who would have thought that the self-proclaimed demonologist, art school dropout, and medium were really scam artists preying on the religious fears of vulnerable people? No. We'll have to do a video ranking all the Conjuring movies. We've done it with Saw, Final Destination, Paranormal Activity. We've done a lot of them. The Conjuring would be a good one. But I gotta say this. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Fuck you.
Yeah, burn in hell.
Burn in hell. You extremely... I was gonna say on a track. Yeah, you ghastly, ghoulish men and whatever. Hey, Ed and Lorraine Warren, up yours.
Yeah. you.
And also, if you're a skeptic out there, my God, open your eyes, please. That's all I gotta say. Doesn't mean, hey, I'm not saying that ghosts aren't real. I kind of said it a little bit, but I'm just saying that these people, definitely, they're scamming you. Scammers, all right? Scammers. Also, we did a video where we ghost hunted ourselves, and we did catch a ghost, so.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we did that for free, non-profit.
Yeah, and I did that, and I didn't even make a movie out of it. So, you know, I'm one of the good ones. Okay. All right, bye. Bethesda, who had previously lived on the property and murdered her own children. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in sundown because today we are delving into the wild, wild world of Craigslist. If you're purchasing something online, chances are you're heading to either Amazon or eBay, one of the big retailers, right? While this is standard, back in the day, there was a website that was surely competing with the big dogs of the internet commerce. Craigslist. And its heyday was massive. I mean, everybody used Craigslist in all kinds of different ways, not even just for sales, but social meetups, all kinds of, it was just like a weird, odd message board. Kind of reminded me of 4chan a bit, how it's laid out and the kind of different boards you could go to, but you could also specify it specifically to your area. It's kind of crazy. It separated itself from other shopping websites by allowing people to rant and post more than their unwanted junk. Sadly, the website has become a husk of its former self, but many weird, insane posts made there are either still up or have been preserved for us to see. And throughout its history, Craigslist has garnered a reputation for having some of the weirdest people on the internet, which is exactly why we're looking in it today. So, hide your credit card and lock your doors as we reveal some of the most depraved and crazy things to ever happen on Craigslist. If you want a good idea of what kind of person Craigslist attracts, there's no better place to start than the weird stuff they purchase. Unlike Amazon, you could literally buy anything on Craigslist so long as someone listed it. In 2008, Chris Wilson purchased a dilapidated 300-foot-long cruise ship called the Aurora for $600,000 with the intention of restoring it. It's just awesome. The ship was built shortly after World War II and needed a lot of work. It's a huge ship. It's crazy. It's a war vessel, basically. When asked if he had any experience building ships, he said no, but insisted he was a fast learner and that he has rebuilt some cars in his past, claiming that he'd be just fine. I love that. In total, the ship had 85 cabins, a theater, and a swimming pool that required over $1 million in renovations. So, for 15 years, Chris traveled the world, salvaging parts needed to restore the ship to its former glory. Progress had been going strong until 2023, when he was forced to sell the ship because a majority of the locals in the area thought the ship was an eyesore. I was gonna say, dude, you. Are you restoring a ship? Go yourself. After it was sold, the Coast Guard towed the ship, but it began to sink and pollute the surrounding waters because of a massive hole in the ship's hull. The city's government then had to step in and maintain water pumps in the ship's hull until it could be salvaged for scrap. Many people theorize that the abandoned ship was haunted, which makes sense given Craigslist's reputation as a hotspot for items. I mean, as you remember, I'm pretty sure the divot box was sold on Craigslist.
eBay's haunted item, yeah.
The most fucking haunted object of all time was a Craigslist sale. So who knows? I just want to say that falls into the HOA kind of thing too. I don't, dude, if I bought a, also, you've been around it how long?
Yeah.
Over a decade, and just now all of a sudden it's an eyesore. That's why I'd put cannons on it first. Go ahead, say something. Go ahead. Talk about my ghost ship. I want you to. Also, a guy just being like, yeah, I restore hot rods. I can restore a full warship.
The confidence.
You have to have that. You have to have that confidence. You have to have that level of mystique and confidence about you. Christian Helms was fortunate enough to have his backyard used as a set in 2012 for an episode of Anthony Bourdain's show, No Reservations. RIP. Years later, he would list his primo ceramic grill on Craigslist, claiming that the spirit of Anthony Bourdain possessed it. That is so fucked up. Yeah, you can buy my Anthony Bourdain haunted ceramic grill. That's got to be illegal, right?
No.
Is that illegal? Couldn't the family sue you?
Are you gonna prove his ghost is not in there? Good luck.
Well, he never liked you anyways. That's why he's not talking to you right now. He talks to me all the time.
That's the thing. Oh my god, that's a huge loophole. Because you could say, like, this thing's haunted by, like, Anthony Bourdain, and then say it's saying the most fucked up shit. And they can't do anything.
They can't.
Because you're like, a ghost said it.
It has, there's got to be some kind of law. There's no, I can't believe it. He claimed the grill loves dirty water hot dogs and tubed meats, isn't a fan of craft beer or Guy Fieri, and refuses to cook meatless meats and blast music by Midwestern punk rock band The Dead Boys. The listing for $450 sold quickly and gained a lot of attention because of how insane the listing sounded. When asked if it was really possessed, he said he made all the stuff up to sell the grill quicker.
Now you could be sued for libel.
Now it's sued for libel. Also, you're not gonna. It's $450. Imagine that story just to be like for $450. Seems a bit silly. Sometimes the most unexpected things become hot commodities, like a butt-shaped pumpkin. The owner of the Post had to stop allowing offers because their phone had been flooded with numbers of people desperately trying to get their hands on the butt-shaped pumpkin.
You think?
Oh, people have bought it to fuck it for sure. I'm just want to get that out of the way. A little corkscrew and a little. Definitely. Or how a vegan man needed to quickly sell 20 pounds of bacon that his ex-wife stocked his fridge with as a sick joke. On the opposite side of the spectrum, some items are left to rot in the owner's possession. One person was trying to sell their grandpa's 18-foot sailboat. The only issue was that it was stuck in their backyard pool. After their grandpa couldn't sail anymore, he hired a crane to take his boat from the marina and drop it in his pool in his backyard. Now the seller was stuck with a massive sailboat and no way to use it, and they said the boat was free to anyone who could get it the hell out of there. The only condition was that you couldn't damage any of the landscaping or block walls during the removal process, which I'm like, dude, beggars can't be choosers right now. Your grass is gonna get tore up a little bit, all right? The boat was also missing a trailer as well as parts of the poles that hold the sails and the sails themselves. The impossible feat of removing a partially scrapped boat resulted in the Post going untouched. No. Yeah, you wanna come work a 40-hour work week for a month trying to get this boat in my backyard? And also, you keep it? You keep this junk? I don't pay you to do any of it?
It looks like a nice boat.
It looks like a nice boat, but not enough to warrant how much of a headache it'd be. Because also, to me, it sounds like a trap where the guy's like, you break it, you buy it, and I feel like he's wanting to get some landscaping, also done for free. Also, you to my landscapes, you owe me X.
A little trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, a little sailboat trap.
It's a trap. Hey, just wanted to take a quick second to thank our and support Gamer Subs because they fucking rule and they support this channel more than fucking anyone. Thank you. Back to the video. Another insane item that was never sold was an entire town. Seneca, California was a former gold mining town that has since been abandoned and turned into a ghost town. The original owners who purchased it in 1970s had sat on it for decades, barely maintaining it. And in 2013, 2013 stuff lately. In 2013, they attempted to sell the property for $225,000, but nobody was interested. The town itself had a bar, tons of old cabins, and abandoned mining equipment. It also lacked any modern amenities such as running water, electricity, and is located in the remote desert, so you know, that's fun. The only selling point was that the local bar had an active liquor license.
Not bad.
Already a moneymaker. It took 6 years to sell, and now the current owners let the liquor license expire with no plans to renovate. Okay. You take that town, what you do, Nick, is you have to get a septic system, spend a little money on it, right? But then you make it one of those old-timey Western towns.
Oh, like a tourist attraction.
Exactly, and there's an old-timey bar, liquor license already there. You can get people drunk and have them go mine for gold, or you do that fun thing that I liked when I was a kid where you put the fake dinosaur bones in the ground, and then kids go like,
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, it's the best. It was awesome. There's this like this restaurant that was here way back in the day called like T-Rex or something, but it was like a dinosaur themed restaurant. It was fucking awesome. Animatronic dinosaurs everywhere. And they had like a Build-A-Bear, but instead of a Build-A-Bear, it was like an archaeology dig site. I loved it. It was awesome. It's gone now. It's gone. Never to return. Children have no imagination now. They have no will to go anywhere. They just have to be on their iPads. One of the best parts about Craigslist was its misconnections tab. My favorite. Misconnections is the best. Where people posted personal requests to find others they may have met. It was removed in 2018, but many of the best posts still survive. In a post titled, "You Farted During Boyhood," a man is trying to find the man who farted during a movie and made his experience magical. He claimed that while watching the movie Boyhood, someone's fart broke the silence and changed the perspective of the film for him. He described it as a loud, deep, and masculine, and with the impact of a baseball bat hitting a leather couch, or George Foreman working the heavy bag. Is that the fart? After the laughter died down in the theater, another fart could be heard as the credits rolled, which he described as two giant hands clapping together. Fart is that? To him, the watching experience had been almost life-altering, and so he wanted to make a post hoping to find the man responsible for the gas and to thank him. I also just want to say, misconnections is the best. Usually it's men seeking women.
Yeah.
Just want to say that. But it's usually something of like, you looked beautiful in your red dress. I ordered a hot cocoa. And you looked at me, and I thought you looked at me, or something like that. Yeah. To where they're so cryptid sometimes that it's like, how would anyone ever actually know that was them?
It's very delusional too. Of like, I held the door open, you gave me that look, and we both knew.
Yeah, it's definitely someone who's like a person, usually a man, is hyper fixating on like a woman smiling at him. Thank you. She loves me, that kind of thing. Yeah, but they're very fun to sift through. It's a little gold mine.
I want to know if any of them met up.
There has to be some success stories, right? I mean, it's got to be very slim. I don't know. We'd have to see. Shockingly, many people post to seek out others that they met while inside or near a dumpster. That's just gonna throw that out there. One woman claimed that she was running from aliens when she hopped inside a dumpster and found a man inside. The two shared a drink from his flask and discussed their love of grilled cheese, and sadly the romance had to end as the woman had to get out of the dumpster to go shit at a nearby gas station, and when she came back, the man was gone.
This sounds like a hallucination.
What a bummer. No, it's real. Now she's looking to meet up again behind the local McDonald's, and God willing, I hope it happens. But see, that's the beautiful thing of the misconnection post. You get a lot of schizophrenic or just like drug hold brain people that are like, remember the aliens and we shared the flask and I had to take a shit this whole, you remember that? What if there was one guy who came out though and he's just like, I remember, I've been missing you this whole time. Oh,
that'd be a love story.
That'd be an awesome love story. A man took to the missing connections page hoping to find the man he came into contact with while naked dumpster diving. While out walking, he noticed a dumpster filled with DVDs and decided to hop in and dig around. Not wanting to dirty his clothes, he stripped down to only his sneakers and went to town. While digging, he heard a noise outside the dumpster and saw the man he was looking for carrying trash bags. The interaction was brief as the man quickly turned around and walked back into the store before any words could be exchanged. And apparently, the man he is looking for works for a local adult video store and hopes he can love a 30-something man with a few good teeth. So also just want to say that also just shines a light that the DVDs were all
yes. Yeah. Oh, look at these.
He's just like, look at that. A little Scrooge McDuck action. Come on, man. Also, I love how it's like he was unfazed. Of course the guy's unfazed. You know how many fucking weird dumpster diving people? He's probably like, hey, whatever you do, just don't open the loop thing. They've gone bad. The guy probably took it. He's just like, I'll bet you anything he'd make love to me tenderly. He'd lay me down soft.
If he works at the video store, just go in the video store. Why are you
know where he works? Yeah. Go in there. But see, that's the thing is he's a pussy about it. See, the misconnection tab a lot of the time is people that are not brave enough. Some people will be like, you work here. Go talk to him.
Yeah, you work at
But it's them being like, I don't know. They gotta make the first move. Whatever, dude. Hey, could you just be on the specific website at a certain time and see this? Also, the goal, the narcissism to be like, someone's like, that was incredible. I have to check the missing connections tab. You know what I mean? Probably the most common posts in the missing connections forum are people trying to find their true love. Almost all of them.
Yes.
It's love.
Yeah.
Right? If it's about friendship, I'm always just like, you gotta stay away from that guy. But the love, see, love is blinding.
Well, the friendship is just like starred love. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I think it's a false sense of like, I'm just looking for a friend. You're not looking for you're looking for a friend with all of a sudden it's like, oh, you want to go back to my place? No. No, I don't. Also, sometimes I think it's a lot of gay guys, closeted gay men being like, just looking for a bud. To once again be like,
I'd fall for that trap, maybe.
Sure, I can come up. Okay, come on up. Yeah, if there was ever like a Jeffrey Dahmer type, you'd be, man.
Oh, yeah.
A couple beers and watch the game? Okay, honestly, why not? That sounds like good. Yeah.
This drink tastes funny.
Oh man, it tastes funny, but it's good. Just slam back. Like chalky. In a post titled, Man of My Dreams, a woman posted a picture of a man drinking beer in a kayak during a flood. Seems a bit, okay? She found him super attractive because he didn't show any fear and wasn't waiting for the National Guard to save him. Now that's a man. Instead, she said he was like a gondolier in the canals of Venice, a beacon of hope and comfort. She ended the post by saying he was a true New Orleans, and she hopes to find her Prince Charming. Like how it took Hurricane Katrina for this woman to be like, now that's a man. You're like one of them funny Italians who sing on the boats. Sing me something, sweet chariot. For those who have felt frustrated about their lives, Craigslist has you covered with the rants and raves category. A woman posted a rant about how her bus boyfriend and how she yearned for his smell. You never really take into consideration the smell factor of people's lustfulness, do you?
Oh, well, they have pheromones.
And people, ooh, you know what I mean? A bus boyfriend. I've never heard of like, is that, so to me, is this somebody who's like regularly on the bus?
Yes.
Who does not know they're in a relationship though?
It's like your work husband.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
That's what.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, some of the work husband bullshit, if you gotta watch out, because that shit gets real very quick, doesn't it? Girls and guys joking around like that.
Work husband becomes new boyfriend.
Work husband becomes, we're doing a little taco tickle in the break room. You gotta watch out, man. The two originally met one morning after he sat next to her. She talked about how she loved his soul patch, but more importantly, the way he smelled. I'm gonna go ahead and say that again. His soul patch and the way he smelled. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's Irish Spring. But it's, yeah, thank you. It's awesome. She was relieved he didn't smell like he smoked crack or cigarettes, which also happened to turn her on. She didn't want to get too horny, Nick, because I love the smell of crack and a little bit of cigarettes in there. But I don't want to get too horny. I get wet. I get all goopy. Leave a little snail trail on the bus. She described it as sweet, soft, and clean, and admitted to silently sniffing him throughout the entire ride.
Creepy.
That
Why
is-
would you just met this guy.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. I love your soul patch. Thanks. You smell great. Thank you. Also, he definitely knew that she was smelling him. She's just like, oh.
I kept looking and she'd look away real quick.
Oh, her eyes are open the entire time smelling him. Oh. Oh, and he's just like, didn't acknowledge her. Oh. She's on his shoulder. Oh. Wow. In the following days, the couple sat next to each other as the woman describes the sexual tension building between them as they talked about books and their lives. That's sexual tension. How do they not get it on right there, Nick? It's palpable. It's in the air. It became such a big obsession that she told her boyfriend about her bus boyfriend and their conversations. That is brutal. The guy's like, what?
Yeah.
You want to fuck a guy on the bus because he say he smells like crack? No, he doesn't smell like that. That is a turn on though.
Does that mean that her boyfriend smells like crack?
That's what I'm wondering. He's like, babe, I smoke crack all the time. Why do we barely have sex? She's like, yeah, complicated. It's complicated. She did this to make him aware and jealous of the other man wanting to be around her. She said he felt threatened by the conversation, so he made sure to have passionate sex with her to mark his territory and, quote, realized that he was damn fortunate to have access to this poon. It's one of those things when immediately you have a picture of someone in your head and they immediately turn into like the white trash version of that. That's exactly what happened. You're like, oh, which honestly I should have seen at the crack and everything, but you know what I mean. Come on. One morning, her bus boyfriend didn't sit next to her and instead chose a seat at the back of the bus. She almost got up to join him, but a 300-pound man sat next to her, smothering her with his body odor. Since that day, she hasn't seen him and yearns for his scent. That guy had to have said that, I'll pay you $70 to ride the bus with me and just sit there and block her in. She's like, excuse me. No, I just want to get... Back in the day, Craigslist was a good way to find new friends, but it was also a great place to make sworn enemies. Veganism has been a controversial topic over the last few decades, but it has upset one man so badly that he wanted to make a vegan fight club. He hopes to find a vegan that he can fight with no rules and he can just beat the shit out of them. They can both just beat the hell out of each other. Does this sound like a man who's wrestling with guilt? Like a guy being that upset over veganism? Do you think it's because he's like, I feel bad that I'm like killing animals and eating them? But you can't get that over on me because it tastes good. It's good.
I feel like if he was like looking to beat like gay men, I feel like he'd be a closeted homosexual.
I think that still transcribes to veganism because if anything, then he wants the vegan guy to fight back so then he can be punished. And essentially, it's painful. Well, I fought for this.
Exactly.
I fought to eat meat. That kind of thing. To make himself seem more intimidating, he claims to have been a yellow belt in judo 10 years prior and aims to fight someone to work through his feelings. I just need to beat someone up. He's healthy. This is a healthy mind. If I can't physically altercate with somebody, I can't get these demons out. Despite it being a no rules fight, he immediately lays out his conditions. There's no rules, but I got a few rules. The vegan must wear a t-shirt that reads vegan, then nobody gets hurt.
Wordplay.
I'm telling you, it feels like a sexual thing. I feel it's odd. So he can get super amped and angry during the fight. I want you to get me angry. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah.
Likewise, he will wear a shirt with something equally provoking, like "Eat your steak like a man" or McDonald's.
Yeah, this is a deeply insecure man.
This is a deeply insecure man who has a lot to work out. The next rule requires the person to be a fully committed vegan for 3 years or more, and to work in a fully vegan environment to demonstrate their commitment. The final rule is that they have to be politically active and have scars from protests they're attended. This would show that they actually take their beliefs seriously instead of simply doing it to impress people or to get laid. This is skewing to either this is very real or this is extremely fake. It's one or the other. I can't tell.
I think this guy, his girlfriend cheated on him with a vegan.
100%.
And this is him trying to like get back at vegans.
100%. If something has happened to this man in the past where he has felt wronged through some kind of insecure something has happened and he wants to kill the demon that's hovering over him. He hopes that if there is someone out there fully committed to the fight, they can gain respect for each other's views while kicking the shit out of each other. I don't believe that's what these. I like how he tries to end it with him being like, and then we can become friends at the end. Whenever you visit a website, you expect to have fun and safe experience. Unfortunately, some people have taken advantage of others, which has led to Craigslist crimes. It's not uncommon for criminals to sell stolen items on Craigslist, but in one instance, it exposed a much darker crime. In October of 2016, Sheriff Deputy Frankie Bybee responded to a service call at the home of a 79-year-old woman, whom he soon befriended. Over the next few months, Frankie got close to the woman and eventually gained access to her banking statements. As soon as he got access, he began siphoning over $65,000 to his own account. Good guy. The woman was quick to notice numerous fraudulent checks leaving her account and asked Frankie what was going on. In a panic, he forced her to ingest pills to make it seem like she took her own life so he could go off scot-free. Luckily, the woman survived and had a lengthy recovery in the hospital. God. Police were able to identify Frankie as the main suspect through fingerprints found on the fraudulent checks. Investigators cemented the case against him when they found Craigslist post where he had sold her dog.
He's in the picture too.
What a dumbass. Also too, like, it's how greedy can you be? Yeah, I'll even sell the fucking dog. I mean, can you leave her the dog? Does she have one companion in her life? My God. He was arrested in 2017 and charged with an attempted murder, theft, and fraud, and it took 4 years before being sentenced to 15 years in prison. Only 15 years?
For attempted murder?
Attempted murder, tens of thousands of dollars stolen, and selling the goddamn dog. 15. Frankie, you did a bad... Can we admit that Frankie did a bad thing? Everyone's like, yeah. All right. Go have 15 years of vacation. You'll get your job back when you're done. Craigslist is notorious for a lot of things, but one of its darker stories involves a straight-up serial killer. In 2009, Philip Markoff started paying for sex workers on Craigslist and meeting them in hotel rooms. After a few initial meetups, things would escalate. He met up with 25-year-old Julissa Brisman. Once inside the hotel room, he bound her and shot her before fleeing the scene. He would replicate this act 2 more times, except instead of killing the women, he would rob them and make his escape. Police were quick to pick up on the perpetrator, who repeatedly contacted Craigslist and threatened them with a gun. Craigslist! They eventually linked Philip to Craigslist killer and arrested him while he was driving with his fiance. Brutal. Man. I feel so bad for like wives or any like of that shit when they're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, I've been fucking prostitutes and I shoot them in the face with a pillow. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. Also, too, do you think that ever translates to people in their own life getting killed? Or do you think there's always that separation? Like him starting with like Craigslist prostitutes, do you think that translates to like his neighbor pisses him off so then he kills his neighbor? Like, do you think he feels... Because I have to imagine that once you get into that realm, you become like power hungry. Or like, no one can catch me.
I think it depends. If it's prostitutes, it's probably just like an easy kill.
Well, yeah, because it's just people, no one's going to be looking for them kind of thing. They're already in desperate means. I'm just saying that like, I wonder if that's just, if it evolves in that way. Where after a while it's like that doesn't become fun anymore and it has to be more dangerous or something. Because there has to be like a thrill aspect of like, oh, am I gonna get caught, right?
And then eventually, yeah, I could see that you're getting bored and you're like, oh.
Then if you're the fiance there, you're like, I wonder how long it would have been until I would have been fucking next. Who knows, you know? And then it would have been a thing of like, oh, I get new fiancés and I kill them. Like a fucking, he's a psychopath. Philip was a medical student with no previous medical record, so had it not been for the Craigslist messages, he might have gotten away with the whole damn thing. Thank God for the Craigslist messages, like I say. The next time you go buy something online, try and find it on Craigslist. You might be surprised by what you see. There's still a lot of cool shit on Craigslist. I will say it's overrun with ads now, and like basically people have made scripts to where bots can post stuff for like even like dealerships and stuff. It's not as good as it like used to be, but every once in a while someone does upload some sick stuff. So it's still worth going to. The website is severely underrated and has helped countless people find new trinkets, new lovers, and ways to vent about their lives. Craigslist might be a dying website, but the legacy it will leave behind lives on forever and ever and ever. But at the same time, if you're going to, here's another hack. If you're on Craigslist and let's say you're buying like a Nintendo 64, there's a lot of like retro game people that go on Craigslist and look for stuff. Meet somewhere public, have someone come with you, and never go to anyone's house. Or be like, I'll meet you at a McDonald's parking lot. Just be smart about it, all right? If someone's like, got the whole collection in my basement, you can be like, nah, could you bring it to this place? And if they say no, it's not worth it. Yeah. The Nintendo 64 is not worth it.
They actually say go to the police station for like meet outside a police station.
Nah, I mean, that's obnoxious. I mean, go to like just a public, like a McDonald's. There's always going to be someone in a drive-thru. Go to McDonald's. Also, don't go there. Don't go to a public place. Oh, it's 3 a.m. Go to like McDonald's at noon. There's going to be people around.
Their shift ends at midnight. So
yeah, that's the best time they could do it. You're like, well, figure out another day. I get it, but it's also just kind of weird to be like, let's meet at the police station. No. What? Well, I'll meet you at Walmart. We can meet in front of Walmart by the security camera. You know what I mean? Just shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. Meet in front of the police station. What a weird thing. Officer, could you watch over this transaction? Thank you. For the love of God, be safe. Take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Because I love the smell of crack and a little bit of cigarettes in there. But I don't want to get too horny. I get wet. I get all goopy. Leave a little snail trail on the bus. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're going to be talking about one of the world's most thankless jobs, being a crime scene cleaner. Everybody loves true crime nowadays. People will happily sit and watch hours upon hours of content about serial killers, hacking people up to bits, people getting murdered and everything, and they're just like, that's weird. There's the true crime scene. But do they ever think about how gruesome the aftermath is, huh? Well, luckily one job profession, you have to. What many people don't realize is that cleaning up after blood-soaked crime scenes can't be done by just anyone. There are companies whose sole purpose is taking on this type of job, and you'd be surprised at how intense and dangerous it can get. I find this hard to believe, but crime scene cleanups didn't really exist until the 1960s. So everything before that, they're just like, hey, why don't somebody else clean it up? Which is kind of wild to think about.
Where you clean it up yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It just, or whatever. Not until the 60s until they're like, we should probably have to pay someone to do this, right? Probably be a little more sanitary. But there was no specialty crew tasked with doing the cleanup. Police officers and investigators would do the work themselves. That is, until it became clear that handling these kind of biohazardous materials was incredibly risky and required trained professionals. From here, the crime scene industry took off. After all, there's no shortage of work to be done. The job isn't just about scrubbing blood from a wall. There's all sorts of biohazard cleanup that needs to be done in most cases. You can't just sit there and be like, well, this guy was shot and stabbed 27 times. Let's do a quick pass. He was sitting here for 3 weeks, so his skin is a part of the carpet. Let's do a quick pass. Get the scrub daddy and a wet cloth. We'll be out here in 5 minutes. Like someone's entire imprint, like one of those Hiroshima shadows or something like that. You're like, oh, that's gonna come right out. It very often includes cases of natural death, as well as even deceased hoarders, sending in entire crews out to sort out all the piles of belongings. Not only that, but because the job is required after the loss of a life, crime scene cleaners must also be trained to give emotional support and resources to the families during the worst moments of their life, which I will say the first or second round of the cleaners, that must have been pretty brutal for the recipients. So sorry. I'm new to this. I'm sorry. Or whatever. That's a bummer.
Can you imagine coming back to the same house? Back again, huh?
Hate to say deja vu, but here we are again. Today, you can find ads for crime scene cleaner jobs plastered all over social media, giving promo codes for training discounts underneath before and after pictures of straight up murder scenes. It's an awesome kind of way of being like, you want to get into this? Also, that would be a job too, where I'm like, there must be help wanted posters everywhere. Someone please help us.
You think so? I think it's like it'd be like everybody running to get it because it's such a.
You would want to do it? Would you want to do it?
If it pays well.
Well, see, that's what you're also like a rat. You're like a man who's just like, I don't know. I mean, do I get to eat the skin afterwards? Or you would have to be so, I mean, like probably the same way that like those investigators have to become desensitized or leave that shit at the door. That's what I respect the most about these kinds of people that are doing these jobs is being able to like separate the horrors of mankind and just like the realities of mankind and then be able to go home and be like, oh baby, look at this. You painted a rabbit. And then not just see like a dead woman's face on it. Peter Cottontail looks a little different.
I don't think I could get used to it, but.
No, I mean, I just think it's easier to just be like, oh, if it pays well, I'd do anything. You hear a lot of people say that. A lot of people are just like, well, I mean, it pays more than what I make now. But you don't think about the mental baggage that comes with it. I feel like it'd be a lot. It'd be hard to do. I don't think I could do it. I'd mentally snap. I feel like I'd peek into one room. Shut the door. I am sorry for your loss, but I have got to get out of here. That's how I'd be like.
I'd wear those like meta glasses and put a filter over it, so I don't think I'm cleaning up a dead body.
Yeah, the dead body is just a giant like Beanie Baby. I'm like, look at you.
When you were a kid, did you ever fantasize about like how to get away with murder?
Just want to take a second to thank our sponsor. Thank you. Back to the video.
It goes without saying that the job is not for the faint of heart. Crime scene cleaners are pushed into truly horrific scenarios, taking the sights and smells that accompany them. One cleaner compares the smell to meat that's been left out for 3 weeks, which is like that. It just smells like rot. It's like almost like sewagey rot, but then also it always has like a coppery, bloody smell to it.
Have you ever smelt a dead body?
No, dude. No. I mean, to be fair, the only body I've been around, I went to my grandpa's open casket funeral. And I remember I was like 7. I told my mom, I'm like, why do we do that? And my mom was like, I don't know. Because I remember being like, oh, I was like really sad that my grandpa was dead, obviously. And I like went over and looked at him and he's just like this stuffed chemical doll. And he's just like, it was horrifying. Honestly, I think it scarred me for life. But that doesn't smell like obviously like a dead body because they suck all the blood out, all yada, yada, yada. But No. I haven't smelled a dead body. This, on top of hearing from traumatized friends and family members, can do serious mental damage. Cleaners are also expected to be in this environment between several hours to several days, depending on how big the job is. It's not all uncommon for CSC workers to get some form of PTSD due to the nonstop trauma that they are tasked to face. That would be a mental hurdle too. Look at your work schedule. One day there. Yeah. 4 days. It's like, you know, that's gonna be a gruesome fucking scene. I just had a guy who like shit himself to death. It was a quick in and out, and this is like, oh, this is a whole family that died from like a murder or something. And you're like, oh, fun. I can't wait to unpack that later in life, because I feel like there's no way to. It would be impossible. I'm very, very much like realizing right now these CSC workers, whatever, have the mental fortitude of gods. Like, I don't know how you could do it. I couldn't.
I'm gonna change my answer to no.
You can't change your answer, Nick. You know why you also can't change your answer is because you've asked, like, ever fantasize about getting away with killing somebody? You ever smell a dead body, Hunter? Also, before we were recording this, I just want to say Nick was sitting in his chair doing this. Oh. I was like, what's going on? He's like, it's my testicles. I was like, are you having testicular torsion in front of me right now? He's like, so what do we want to do with this? I'm like, don't give me thoughts of war. He's like, ooh. Just sitting there, not moving, having testicular torsion. Go to a doctor.
I'm fine. It doesn't hurt anymore.
The pain, oh, he subsides, Hunter. I'm fine. You like drop your pants. There's like these big two purple plums like right there. These are normal looking testicles, right, Hunter? These are what Italian balls look like. The scene of a crime is teeming with viruses, mold, bacteria, and bloodborne pathogens. And CSE workers have recounted times where even the slightest mistake has led to serious consequences. Like the time one cleaner had his gas mask slightly loose, leading him to catching a norovirus and being bedridden for a week straight. That's where it would me up too. I'm too lax with that stuff. Like an air fry piece of chicken, and you're like, that looks pink. And I'm like, no, I think it's all right. That would be me. And they're like, your thing looks kind of loose. It's covered. That I would be the person where then it's like, cut to a week later, I'm completely bald in the bed, just like, I feel thin, Nicholas. Is what I would say. You might be wondering why anyone would subject themselves to this type of chaos day in and day out. Well, it turns out that crime scene cleaning can be financially lucrative, which fucking better be.
When I was reading this made me think. Like in India, the basically subhuman caste, they're the caste. They are the untouchables. This is their belief system, not mine. The untouchables are like seen as the lowest of the low, but they do like the most important jobs of like removing dead bodies, cleaning sewers and stuff. People make fun of them and like beat them in the streets. So
they beat them in the street for what?
For being untouchables. There's like there's a video of like this guy, he's crying, he's like, and these kids are throwing rocks at him and calling him names, but he can't do anything because he's the lowest caste system in India. And they're called untouchables because they say if you touch them, you become one of them. So if they touch you, you could like charge them.
You're saying they're straight up grinching our Indian brethren? My God.
You're a mean one, Mr. Indian. You really are untouchable.
Let's do a fact check.
Also, I want to say the entire time, editor, put all kinds of text warnings that are all around saying that, with arrows being like, this man has nothing to do with that. All right. This is not a part of our warm up before we get into this. That came out of no.
You're a mean one, Mr. Indian.
I was going to say though, CSC workers, if they're not getting paid well, like if it was a thing, like teachers don't get paid shit. Can you imagine CSC? Yeah, we don't get paid that well. I'd be like, run away from that job. Run away. At least there's the noble aspect of like, it's a job that has to be done. Same with teaching. Usually I would say a lot of teachers get into it because they like the academia system, or they probably had a teacher as well who's like, this person changed my life and they want to do that. So sometimes I feel like sometimes people can be like, I don't get paid as much, but I love what I do. You can have that. It would be hard pressed, I bet, to find someone who's like, oh, I actually really love it. For the CSC worker. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a guy who's like, I've been doing it and they're whatever. But I don't think someone's just like, when I grew up, I want to clean up crime scenes or whatever. Or people that say that, it's like usually some like edgy goth kid who's like 14. Your pay depends on how experienced you are and what you're able to handle, with some top earners being able to rake in a large salary doing the dirty work. David Schlum, a man who created his own biohazard cleaning company, revealed that he's made as much as $46,000 during the course of one weekend cleaning up a crime scene. He recalls his first job being so brutal that he shifted between almost fainting and nearly throwing up.
And there's just blood everywhere. I mean, it's brains over here, brains over there. I go like walk over to it, dude, and I start like choking up and like felt like I was gonna faint. I almost passed out. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
But also, he probably almost shifted and fainted from being like 46 G's in one weekend. I'm fucking dizzy too. I'd be like the Tin Man almost falling. Another man, Ben Giles, started a similar business in the UK that became a multi-million-dollar company. Of course, that is not without his fair share of horror stories. He's seen bathtubs fully filled with piss and shit. Filled! Dead bodies from hoarders trapped in their own filth, hundreds of needles, a pile of oily pig skins, and perfect skeletons still fully dressed in clothing they died in. And in one instance, he was called over to a supermarket on Christmas Day because a flustered employee decapitated a horse and dragged its head into the establishment to get his revenge. Do you think that they approach it the same way that they would do like a detailed car cleaning? Like, does the guy be like, so he dragged it here? The dispatcher, so yeah, I mean, it's a guy, like, he died in his own shit and piss, and there's like a dead horse or something, blah, blah, blah. Let me see if there's anything else in notes. Get children crying. You'll figure it out when you get there. Is it as casual as that? It has to be. When it becomes a job and you see that, you have to become desensitized to it a bit. There are piles upon piles of stories told by current or former crime scene cleaners, each more absurd than the last. During a Vice interview, Vice, one anonymous CSC worker sheds light on a lot of insane scenes they walk into. She recalls the first time she had to clean up chunks of brain.
When you go to clean brain, it mushes into the ground. It doesn't just come off. You kind of have to pick up every little piece before you start scrubbing.
During one meth lab cleanup in a trailer, they found a man still inside cooking. They threatened to call the police and he didn't leave. He told them, quote, "If I had a gun, I'd shoot you." Fun! During the scene of another meth cleanup, meth is such a reoccurring character in these stories. I wonder if it's... During the scene of another meth cleanup, the owner had just escaped police in the middle of shooting a graphic video. When the cleanup crew arrived, they found the apartment covered in cinnamon-scented lube, alongside jars full of his own semen that he had been saving. That's really, they don't tell you about the CSC. It's not just dead bodies. You're gonna get some like weird meth head cum jars. He's like, don't even touch those. If you're gonna touch them, keep them sealed. And they need to be room temp at all times.
They say that sets smell the worst too.
No. What? I can't believe it. Just constant moisture? All right. On pleather couches. All right, I'll believe it. 32-year-old Scott Vogel claims that he's been doing it for so long that he no longer feels the need to wear heavy-duty respirators, instead opting for a thin mask because he can no longer care about the smell of death and gore. I also wonder how much of that too is because of the chemicals you use. Adam, comparing Adam to a CSC worker, Adam, aka Creature Kid, I think that he's consumed so many, or not consumed, but it's like he's been around so many of the chemicals or fumes that I think that it's just, he doesn't have any smelling left, or so he can't even smell it. When I was getting my like prosthetics made on my for the short film, whatever, it was insane. Like it'd be like, oh yeah, it'd be crazy, or it'd burn your eyes, and he's like, I don't even smell it now. It was just like all in his face, and he was just applying it, which is just, but that's what I mean is like, I bet you anything, he's just like, I don't, why even put the respirator on? I can't even smell it anyways. Mike Andrews, who's part of one of the longest running crime scene cleanup emergency response units, has seen all sorts of insane things. For example, one hoarder home he attended had a ceiling high pile of used condoms. In another instance, a deceased man had hundreds of those surrounding a sex chair as some sort of shrine. Terry Hayter, a forensic cleaner, explains how many people die while laying on their mattress, and because of this, all the body fluids leak onto it like a sort of like giant sponge, something way less glamorous that you might see in shows like Law and Order, where they're laying there like, dead, whatever, and they're like looking at the body. It's like, no, it's just a bulged out, juicy mattress, like a giant hunk of meatloaf. How nasty is that, man?
You think they resell the mattresses?
One of the most putrid parts of the job is cleaning up after a body that has been left unattended for a long time. Not only is their flesh rotting, but the smell is almost unbearable to many. A cleaner named Timothy Molesworth had once been tasked with cleaning the body of a man found dead in his bathroom an entire month after the fact. She went on to say, quote, "I literally had to scrape the deceased body matter off the floor tiles into plastic bags. The body wasn't even there. It was just so completely gone." There's like some TikTok videos where you see of people that go into hoarder homes, and they have like shovels and all kinds of like, almost like equipment that you would use to scrape ice off a car or something to get it out of like grout and stuff. What's so crazy to me is like, how as a homeowner, which it also just goes to show fucking landlords and stuff or whatever, how do you not rip everything out and just be like, start from scratch? Because that shit has to go down to the baseboards. Like, I bet you the baseboards are fucking, like the actual, or the subflooring of the thing are stained. One of the most insane examples of this story is told by Kelly Polisheks, who witnessed a man who had died from a heart attack underneath a shower that had been running continuously for weeks. It went on for so long that his body melted, clogged the drain, and had his sludgy remains poured out all throughout the house out of his front door. And I'm pretty sure that's how they found him, is because they're like, huh?
There's actually an app in China that says like, "Are you dead yet?" or something. Basically, you check in every day.
Oh, wow.
And to see if you're alive, and if you don't check in, they have someone come.
This is, I feel like a lot of people hear about this, but people that are, I live by myself in New York, in like a giant apartment complex, which also has tons of people smoking, doing whatever, which might hide the smell a little bit, or it's like funky and you're like, God, my neighbor's smelling like shit. I would be like, it's mandatory. You have to tell us that you're alive, you know? Back in the early 90s, one man was hired to clean up a crime scene taking place in a rich Los Angeles home in the hills. And according to him, the home was so large that you could easily get lost inside. It even contained an elevator. All the paperwork was done before via fax, so they got to work without meeting anyone that owned the home or was related to the victim. All they knew was that a businessman was killed inside the home, which is also just horrifying. You don't talk to anyone else, they're just like, someone died in there. Go into that dark labyrinth. Well, which room is it? You'll see. Go past the 3 cuckoo clocks and past the dark man's room. That's where you'll find him. The first thing they saw was copious amounts of water damage, leaving them to believe the killer might have left the faucet on after doing the deed, much like the wet bandits in Home Alone. It had seemed that an electrician may have shut off the power in certain parts of the home due to the water damage, leaving parts of the home eerily dark. And at one point, one of them was taking debris towards the exit when all the lights suddenly turned off. Every time the lights would turn back on, a completely different room was shut down in its place. People clearly started to get on edge because one crew member started insisting that it would be more efficient to work all together. We should probably just work together. You can tell that's like some like very kid energy. Whenever you're scared playing a game, when I had Quake 2 or 3 on Nintendo 64. Or I'd just been Quake, but anyways, I had that on Nintendo 64 and I'd be like afraid to move forward and I'd be like, "Hey mom, come check this part out, it's really cool." Just wait for her to come, just like, "What is it?" And I'd finally be able to proceed. And she's like, "Well, what is it?" I don't say anything. Everyone was hearing music at some point throughout the house. Closed doors would suddenly be open, and despite nobody going near them, they'd also hear loud, unexplainable banging sounds. 2 crew members started taking turns carrying the debris out to the truck, and during the last trip, one of them was left waiting in the dark without a flashlight. Fuck that. At that moment, he hears what appears to be his coworker walking in the shadows. He calls to him, but no response. Then, a third coworker holding a flashlight enters the room in a rush. He says that he swore he heard somebody screaming for him, but nobody raised their voices at all. And one of them admitted that after using the restroom, he saw a complete stranger walk by him and exit the room out of nowhere. They never got answers about what had happened, but some of them were convinced that the person was hiding inside the home, messing with the lights, playing with the music, sneak up close to them to freak them out. Which I will say, we meme on a lot of ghost shit, whatever on the channel. This does sound like somebody who's just like, it's probably just somebody messing with us, and it was like some actual weird, crazy paranormal shit. This also reminds me of this movie called Session 9, which I want to show off that movie, Session 9. It's one of those movies that you'd be like, you wouldn't expect it. You're like the cover, it looks like kind of like a Walmart DVD bin thing. It's like an early 2000s, like weird paranormal movie, but that entire sequence reminded me of that movie, Session 9. So hey, shout out Session 9. If anything, play a little clip from it.
Okay. Jeff, Meg, go downstairs, make sure he doesn't turn around. You come with me. Hey. Fuck you.
There you go. In the world of crime scene cleaners, it's said that you gain a much larger respect for life as well as the deceased. Not all of them share this respect, however, which leads to some pretty absurd crimes. The company Crime Scene Cleaners from New Zealand felt the need to post images of horrific scenes from their jobs on social media accounts as some sort of weird marketing tactic. And upon investigation, it was discovered that their Facebook page alone posted countless photos containing the aftermath of domestic abuse cases, unattended deaths, and even One particularly gruesome post showed a victim's remains being scraped off a train. And in the photo, the crew member was holding up a human bone with a toothy grin on his face and a caption stating, "I'm very happy with his find." If that wasn't tone deaf enough, other posts showing maggot-infested bodies were captioned, "Human reigns for these fat wee beasts." What the f does that even mean, you psychos? Police had gotten involved and all the posts were taken down, but the company essentially got off with a warning based on them being seemingly remorseful, which, you know what, I will say, it feels very tone deaf, but I can also see what they're saying of like trying to normalize a job that maybe gets scrutiny online or whatever, but to not have the awareness to be like, man, that's somebody's like relative or whatever, or to like lift up somebody's bone and be like, oh, look, what is that? Other cleaners, like an employee from Clean Scene AZ, were causing problems from the very beginning of the job. They sent photos to their client, who was the niece of the deceased, to show their progress. Hey, so your dad's scalp and his other stuff, that's all, we got it cleaned up a little bit, but you can see still a bit of his calf and some toes, so we'll get that tomorrow. One of the photos was of a completely different house! That's not my mom. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. New phone. Sorry, who this? Just kidding. Then one employee, Deborah Claywell, brought along people who didn't work for the company to come along and take all of their valuables. When the niece returned to the home, the garage door was open and a car was missing. And not only that, but they had stolen jewelry, money, and the deceased woman's credit card before going on a spending spree. Clean AZ refused to take any of the blame, but eventually offered a full refund for their services before firing Deborah. I mean, listen. Just because we have a couple bad eggs doesn't mean we can put it all on us. Which I will say, if it's that egregious, this is me just don't have any proof, but I'm just saying it feels like anytime I've ever been in a job, like working at like a grocery store, if somebody gets caught doing something, it's because they probably learned it from somebody else or they like have done it together. It's truly strange just how fascinated people are with the darkest and most gruesome side of society. It's long since been a fascination for the younger generation who will gladly watch videos of influencers deep cleaning hoarder dens or graves. Even as recently as 2024, there was a cleaning simulator game called Crime Scene Cleaner in which you play a man working for the mob. The game is essentially just cleaning up murder scenes in an oddly satisfying way. I think it's kind of like the one where you have like the power washer, like that game. Is that just called Power Washing Simulator or something? It's the way that those games, like almost like a slot machine, the way that it sounds cleaning off. It's almost ASMR or something. So I could see someone cleaning up that kind of shit. There's even a biohazard cleanup company called Spalding Decon that hosts the Crime Scene Cleaning YouTube channel, posting videos documenting their cleaning adventures. The channel has 1.5 million subscribers, and their most viral video titled "Tub with Chunks of Flesh" shows them cleaning up after a mother passed away in the bathtub. Comments on this video repeatedly point out how insane it is that they're so disgusted by it, but keep watching because they're so fascinated. Which is true, it feels kind of taboo almost, doesn't it? It's like something you shouldn't watch, but you do. And also, I feel like a lot of these channels are a bit more respectful with, they're not like showing anything crazy, but they are showing like, this is what the reality of it is, which I think it's kind of like admirable. Like whenever I saw even the people cleaning hoarder houses, unfucking believable, man. And it is insane too, to be like, look at what this person was able to like completely turn around. And it's like fascinating too, to be like, how many times have I been in a place and it's been a crime scene or like stuff that I don't know? Like you rent a home, it was a hoarder house before or something. Cause I don't think do you have to disclose that? I think if you're buying a house, you have to disclose that, like if somebody was like, if it was an active crime scene or something. Over on TikTok, CSE workers are filming their entire process and gaining millions of views. These videos often show blood and filth, likely left up under the label of education content. And also I think it's satisfying. It's that ASMR. It's like people that deep clean cars. Anticipation and payoff. I see a dirty thing, I see it get clean. That was satisfying. I think it's just like a weird primitive tick in our brains too. There are so many massively important jobs that go unnoticed by the majority of society. It can't be understated that crime scene cleaners are providing a necessary service to society. One that not only keeps things clean, but helps victims mentally prepare for the loss of loved ones. If you find yourself innately fascinated by true crime and want to make a living surrounded by all its dark and seedy elements, maybe this is something you want to do for a living. But just remember that podcasts and movies might not properly prepare you for the horrors that you find inside. Thank you guys so much, and hey, stay clean out there. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
When you were a kid, did you ever fantasize about like how to get away with murder?